C2551. C2551, Elder Sister Xiao Ling. Chen Xiang spent approximately 2 days before returning. Well, where's your wife? Du Xiaoling looked at Chen Xiang and asked. Chen Xiang laughed. Elder Sister Xiaoling, do you have poison in this place? I'm worried that she won't be able to take it, so I'll check to see if it's safe. Du Xiaoling hurriedly nodded, then closed her eyes and carefully sensed the surroundings of her small courtyard. Only after she confirmed that there was no poison did she nod her head, and then gently smiled. Even if she was poisoned, I can quickly cure it. Bai Ling will recover very quickly, and it should still be a few more days. Yu Qing, Sister Yu, you can come out now. Chen Xiang let Su Yuqing and Bai Yu out. Du Xiaoling recognized Bai Yu, but he didn't know that he was Su Yuqing. They were both girls, so it wasn't difficult for them to get to know each other. Chen Xiang, on the other hand, was wandering around to see the poison inside. Little scoundrel, come here! Su Yuqing shouted. Chen Xiang was playing with a black venomous cat demon, and when he heard Su Yuqing call him, he immediately ran over. What is it? I am preparing to enter the elder sister Xiao Ling. I need some peace and quiet, and I cannot be disturbed. Su Yuqing said. Are you confident you can help elder sister Xiao Ling get rid of the heavenly energy that is imprisoning her? Chen Xiang asked. I can't be sure yet. I'll have to check carefully before I know. At this time, Su Yuqing's face was extremely solemn. You could tell that the thing she was about to do next was definitely dangerous. Chen Xiang nodded his head, then maintained silence with Bai Yu, maintaining his vigilance against the surroundings, preventing anything from coming over. After all, Du Xiaoling had a lot of poisonous materials here. Du Xiaoling and Su Yuqing clasped their hands together. The two girls had their eyes closed and were extremely quiet. Chen Xiang did not know how they were progressing and could only wait patiently. Very quickly, several hours passed. They were still sitting like this. Suddenly, Chen Xiang heard the door opening. Both he and Bai Yu immediately became cautious. Sister Yu, stay here. I'll go take a look. After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he teleported to the stone door, only to see a woman dressed in black tight clothes walking in. The girl had a long braid hanging on her well-developed chest, with a purple hook at the end. Her face was cold and charming, with purple lines on it, and her eyes shone with a purple light. She was Bai Ziqian. Sister Ziqian. Chen Xiang laughed. You're back. Chen Xiang, why are you here? Bai Ziqian was extremely shocked, and immediately asked, Are you all right? Chen Xiang made a hush gesture, then said in a low voice, It's fine, elder sister Xiao Ling and the others are doing very important things, we need to keep it quiet. Bai Yu originally wanted to come over, but the place was filled with poison, so she could only stay where she was. Why are you guys here? You don't trust me, do you? After all, Bai Ziqian was Bai Yu's big sister. Seeing Chen Xiang here, she could already guess what would happen. Yes, but now we are relieved. And I brought Sister Bai Ling here to treat the poison. Chen Xiang said. Sister Bai Ling was poisoned by the sky spill poison, only the elder sister Xiao Ling can cure her. This meant that Chen Xiang and Chen Xiang were getting along quite well. When she saw Chen Xiang previously, she was worried that he would poison her. I come from the impenetrable, there's no king problem coming to this place. Chen Xiang laughed. It's been so long since I've seen you, but you're still the same as ever. Bai Ziqian snorted lightly, then walked with Chen Xiang over to where Bai Yu was. Bai Yu told Bai Ziqian about helping him. Of course, Bai Ziqian knew about what happened to Du Xiaoling. She did not know that Su Yuqing could help him, so even though she was still in the Hundreds of Flowers village, she rarely interacted with the women of the Hundreds of Flowers village. At the very most, she only interacted with LV Qinlian, and she did not even see Bai Yu often. How is it? Have you managed to control your poison well? Bai Ziqian asked. Previously, Bai Ziqian had obtained the inheritance of an ancient poison god king, so he had cultivated that kind of poison technique. Back then, it was also because she had received the inheritance of the ancient poison God King that she had fallen into a deadly situation. At that time, Chun Xiang had risked his life to save her, and it was precisely because of that she had buried the feelings of adoration towards Chun Xiang deep within her heart. It's much better now. It's mainly because my cultivation and mental state are not enough, yet I have to control such a powerful poison. My strength doesn't follow my heart, so I often lose control. Bai Ziqian sighed. Let me touch it. See if it's a little fat or not. Chun Xiang immediately extended her hand out and pinched Bai Ziqian's jade face. Bai Ziqian coldly glared at Chun Xiang. After all, Bai Yuyu was here, and Du Shaoling and Su Yuqing were at the side. Sis, is your poison effective against those black hairs humaness? Bai Yuyu asked. It worked. Master told me. Bai Ziqian looked at Du Shaoling. Du Shaoling was her master. Sister Ziqian, are you afraid of the sky spill poison? Chun Xiang asked. I don't know. I've only heard it from Master once and I've never seen it with my own eyes. But I'm going to go see Sister Bai Ling. Back then, when Xia Beiling entered the Hundreds of Flowers village, it was extremely lively. After all, Xia Beiling was very mischievous, jumping up and down with Long Shui and the other mischievous beings. Chun Xiang and Bai Ziqian entered the small house, while Bai Yuyu stayed behind. She did not dare to walk around carelessly, especially in the small house, where there was the Qi of the Heavens divination, which Du Shaoling had mentioned before. Bai Ziqian walked to the door, and already felt the aura of the sky spill poison, and frowned. She glanced at Chun Xiang, but Chun Xiang was completely fine. Looks like this poison still can't deal with you. Your body is truly special. I'm afraid only Qinlian's love poison is effective against you. The only one that can deal with you in this world is Qinlian's love poison. Bai Ziqian said as he walked into the small hut. Bai Ziqian saw Xia Beiling lying in the bathtub. The water in the bathtub was very black and thick. It was like ink. The sky spill poison is very scary, but it has already been absorbed and digested by the poisonous water that Master refined. Sky spill poison is very scary, but right now it has already been absorbed and digested by the poisonous water that Master refined. Bai Ziqian used her jade hand to gently touch the thick black water and exclaimed, The Heavens divination poison is truly terrifying. Bai Ziqian was frowning as he looked at Bai Ziqian. Suddenly, Chun Xiang came to her back and hugged her. Bai Ziqian's delicate body trembled, and then she channeled all the energy in her body, wanting to struggle free from Chun Xiang. However, just as she was about to release her power, she retracted it back. Sister Ziqian, all of these years you must have been tough, right? Chun Xiang asked gently. Bai Ziqian turned around, looked into Chun Xiang's deep emotional eyes, and then nodded. Because of her, not to mention men, she didn't even dare to approach a woman. That kind of loneliness had tortured her for many years, and Chun Xiang could understand as well. Chun Xiang faintly smiled, then hugged Bai Ziqian. Bai Ziqian also hugged Chun Xiang tightly, feeling Chun Xiang's heartbeat. The two of them gazed at each other with deep love, and before they knew it, they had started kissing. C-2552. C-2552. Bai Yuyu also didn't know why Chun Xiang and Bai Ziqian had been inside for so long. She could only wait. Finally, she waited for more than 4 hours before Chun Xiang and Bai Ziqian came out. Bai Yuyu understood Chun Xiang and Bai Ziqian very well, and could be said to be the person who understood Bai Ziqian and Bai Yuyu the most. Seeing Chun Xiang's happy and contented appearance, and seeing how although Bai Ziqian's gaze was cold and elegant, his cheeks were slightly red and tender, she immediately understood something. You too. Bai Yuyu couldn't help but laugh. There's really something you guys are here for. Humph, even women do these kinds of things. What's so funny about that? Bai Ziqian gave a light snort. Didn't you yourself do the same in the past? She has never experienced it before. Chun Xiang laughed. Really? Bai Ziqian laughed complacently, and said while looking at Bai Yuyu, "Looks like I got ahead of you. Seriously, after being with this kid for so long you actually didn't do anything like that." Bai Yuyu scoffed and said, "You guys truly do not know shame. There's even big sister Bai Ling lying inside. She fainted, she didn't know." Chen Xiang laughed. "D-A-M, and you little scoundrel." Bai Yuyu scoffed, she did not expect Chen Xiang to actually F.U.C. K her elder sister in this kind of place at this time. She actually knew about the feelings Bai Ziqian had for Chen Xiang, but she definitely didn't think that they would develop so quickly. She felt that she still wasn't clear about Bai Ziqian, but she was actually taken over by Chen Xiang that easily. However, she thought about it and felt that it was more acceptable. After all, Bai Ziqian was covered in poison, and Chen Xiang had helped Bai Ziqian multiple times without fear of poison, and she had even saved him at all. As long as Chen Xiang took the initiative, it would only be a matter of time before she was captured. Chen Xiang smiled as he looked at Bai Yuyu. He knew that Bai Yuyu would be his sooner or later. "Little scoundrel, what are you thinking about?" She understood Chen Xiang very well. With just a glance from Chen Xiang, she could already tell what he was thinking. How much longer do they need? I wonder if they can succeed. Bai Ziqian looked at Du Shaoling, very worried. Du Shaoling was her master, and whether or not she could act like a normal person in the future all depended on Du Shaoling. Of course, when she was dealing with Chen Xiang just now, she had gained a lot from it. She felt that she had better control over the poison in her body now, but she was still lacking a little. Right now, her mood had greatly improved. After all, she no longer felt lonely. She was not like before, enduring loneliness all day and feeling depressed all day. This kind of life had been going on for many years. Seeing that Bai Ziqian had become cheerful, Bai Yuyu was secretly happy for Bai Ziqian as well. She had experienced Bai Ziqian's misfortune before, especially after she had dispersed the ruthless magic. "It will succeed," Bai Yuyu said. At this time, Chen Xiang had nothing to do, so he took out the pill furnace to concoct the pills. He was currently refining SHI plus Padan S. He wanted to take the opportunity to concoct more SHI plus Padan S for Bai Ziqian. With Du Xiaoling's help, Bai Ziqian's Dao per realm could be raised quickly. Chen Xiang wanted her to be faster, so she would have to stay here for a while longer. In the blink of an eye, another 2 days had said. Su Yuqing and Du Shaoling tightly held onto their 10 fingers without moving at all. But while concocting the pills, Chen Xiang suddenly felt pain on his waist. Bai Yuyu and Bai Ziqian were also suddenly shocked, because they suddenly saw a white figure standing beside Chen Xiang. The white shadow that suddenly appeared beside Chen Xiang was precisely Xia Beiling, and she was currently pinching the flesh on his waist. "Little scoundrel, you actually did that when I was lying in there. You're so bad." Xia Beiling scoffed, her face red. Xia Beiling actually knew about it. After Bai Ziqian heard this, her cold and charming face suddenly flushed red, and she lowered her head, not daring to raise it up. After all, there were people watching the entire scene from the side. Of course she did not know that Chu Hongqing and Yang Xiangyin were also aware of this matter. "I was wrong, Shu," Chen Xiang said softly. Even though it was very painful, he did not dare cry out. "Humph, I'll teach you a lesson next time." Xia Beiling scoffed, then looked at Du Shaoling. She stared at her beautiful face with a complicated expression, and sighed. Although Xia Beiling had fainted due to poison, she seemed to be able to know about what was happening in the outside world. Thus, she knew about the conversation between Chen Xiang and Du Shaoling outside very clearly. Du Shaoling was the heaven poison divine spirit who had spread the deadly poison in her city all those years ago. It wasn't her. The heavenly Tao did it to us. Xia Beiling let out a long sigh. She is innocent, and she blamed herself for so many years for no reason at all. Chen Xiang was a little worried just now, but after hearing Xia Beiling's words, he became more relaxed. Sister Bai Ling, you are truly open-minded. Chen Xiang laughed. Don't laugh. Although I'm open-minded, I still hold a grudge. Just you wait. Xia Bailing glared fiercely at Chen Xiang. When she was poisoned, she was lying there detoxifying, and Chen Xiang was actually doing something at the side. She was very angry just thinking about it. Sister Bai Ling, weren't you poisoned? How can you still feel it? Chen Xiang asked in a low voice. I am a Tao sovereign, and I know how to use spatial power. I have long used spatial power to separate my divine sense C. My divine sense C is still functioning normally. If there is no hope, my divine sense C will separate from my body and rebuild it, although it will become much weaker, but in the future, I can still become a Tao sovereign. Xia Bailing patted Chen Xiang's head again. Seeing how much you care about me, I will forgive you this time. After Xia Bailing was poisoned, he suddenly came over, and she was very concerned about him. However, she was very touched, so when she thought back to it, she felt that she could forgive Chen Xiang. Bai Yu saw Bai Ziqian's lowered head, her jade face flushed red. She was extremely embarrassed. Said and could not help but chuckle. Serves you right. Forget it, I'll forgive you all. Xia Bailing laughed, then said, Ziqian, you have been here for a period of time, you must know a lot about here. Quickly take me to take a look. It's rare to see such poison, and it's being raised by the heaven poison divine spirit. Xia Bailing was already holding on to Bai Ziqian's hand, as he hopped towards those beautiful flowers, and there were even many beautiful turflies fluttering about. She's really lively. Bai Yu held her cheeks, and watched Xia Bailing run around in the flowers. Yeah, it seems like my previous worries were unnecessary. Chen Xiang was also very pleased. His heart was indeed like a child's. Bai Yu also nodded. Bai Ziqian had no choice but to play with her. She wasn't too worried that Xia Bailing would get infected by the poison, as both she and Du Xiaoling could be cured of the poison. C-2553. C-2553 Chen Xiang and Bai Yu were completely stunned. Not only did Xia Bailing ride the centipede to play, he even jumped around on top of a few big furry spiders and treated a venomous bird as a horse. www.xstxt.org Xia Bailing also knew that he had to keep this place quiet, so he created a spatial enchantment to prevent her voice from coming over. Chen Xiang and Bai Yu looked at each other and laughed helplessly. Chen Xiang, I need your help. Su Yuqing suddenly opened his eyes. His expression was gloomy. Alright, how can I help? Chen Xiang asked anxiously. Can your soul-absorbing devil spell absorb souls, or is it a power hidden within the soul? Su Yuqing asked. Yes, you want me to use the soul-absorbing devil spell? Chen Xiang asked. Right now, I have already dispersed the power of the heavenly Tao incantation that is imprisoning the soul of the elder sister Xiaoling, and have separated it from the soul of the elder sister Xiaoling. However, that power is too much, and it fills the entire divine sense C. If we do not take them away, the elder sister Xiaoling will be in a terrible state, and she herself will not be able to resist this power. She will have to rely on external force. Chen Xiang looked at Bai Yu, and then asked, Sister Yu, you also understand soul-absorbing devil spell, can the two of us go together? Of course you can. That would be for the best, and would allow you to quickly remove the power of the curse decree. Su Yuqing said, You just need to sense the divine sense CS. I have already agreed to allow your powers into her divine sense CS. Bai Yu nodded at Chen Xiang, I'm already prepared. Our divine soul will enter, and we will immediately use the soul-absorbing devil spell inside, this way we can more quickly absorb the energy. Chen Xiang said, Let me ask elder sister Xiaoling, can we directly enter with our divine soul? She said she could, but she must be careful when she goes in, because the heavenly energy is very tyrannical inside, and it is not controlled by elder sister Xiaoling. My divine soul must be very careful inside, and elder sister Xiao Ling's divine soul is also hiding right now. Su Yuqing said. Chen Xiang and Bai Yuyu pressed their palms against Du Xiaoling's back, then said their farewells to Bai Ziqian and Xia Beiling, telling them to protect their backs well and not to be disturbed. Xia Beiling also quieted down at this time, and came beside Chen Xiang and the others. Chen Xiang and Bai Yuyu's divine soul had already entered Du Xiaoling's divine sense sea world, and it was a mess inside. However, Chen Xiang could still roughly see that Du Xiaoling's divine sense sea world was in a very simple and beautiful world. There were blue skies and green hills, and there would occasionally be some flowers. But now there were many dark gray clouds drifting around in the blue sky. It was still raining heavily, and the rain was very dirty. The green grass was dyed a dark gray after being watered by the rain. After the rain stopped, a strong wind blew, bringing with it a gray dust cloud. Amidst the strong wind, there was also a clump of sand. Are all these heaven's law charms? At this time, Chen Xiang and Bai Yuyu were holding hands and flying around due to the strong winds, and it was impossible for them to stop. Yes, the heavenly energy curse is extremely tyrannical, and the heavenly energy curse accounts for too much grievance. Now that it has separated from the elder sister Xiao Ling's soul, it wants to pollute the world of the elder sister Xiao Ling, Su Yuqing said. Sister Yu, let's begin. Chen Xiang said as he operated the soul-absorbing devil spell. Chen Xiang and Bai Yuyu felt the murky soul power inside, so they operated the soul-absorbing devil spell together. They quickly absorbed it and discharged it from their bodies. Chen Xiang took out the chuangs, Hi+G-O-D furnace, and poured all of the turbid heavenly energy he released into the chuangs. Hi+G-O-D furnace, burning it and refining it. So many! Chen Xiang couldn't help but exclaim in surprise after he continuously absorbed for more than 2 hours, because even though there wasn't much reduction in the absorption process, he still went ahead and absorbed as much as he could without decreasing in the slightest. It seems this will take a long time. Su Yuqing sighed. I didn't think it would be so much. Looks like there's only one way. Chen Xiang said. Sister Yu, you can leave first. Leave this to me. Don't act recklessly. Bai Yuyu was a little worried that Chen Xiang would use a dangerous method. It's fine, there's no danger. Chen Xiang laughed. If I use my method, I can quickly settle it. All right. Bai Yuyu left Du Xiaoling's divine sense sea. Su Yuqing asked, Husband, what method do you plan to use? Is it dangerous? It's not that dangerous. It's just that I let my second divine sense see out here, so you can let him work with me. I'm worried that he'll reject the power of my second divine sense see. Chen Xiang said. Du Xiaoling's divine soul simply could not flow inside, so he could not directly talk to her. All right. Only Su Yuqing was able to talk to Du Xiaoling. I'm ready to begin. Chen Xiang said. You can begin. Su Yuqing had already told Du Xiaoling before. Chen Xiang took a deep breath, then released his second divine sense see. His second divine sense see was extremely special and mysterious as well. However, Su Yuqing knew that his second divine sense see was extremely terrifying, and that was also a power that Chen Xiang normally did not use. After Chen Xiang's second divine sense see appeared, waves of dragon roars could be heard. A huge dragon covered in green scales roared and soared into the blue sky, with green light flash. Hi+ing from its scales, it was actually a Qin dragon. Afterwards, the vermilion bird's cry, white tiger, black tortoise, Qilin and ground-suppressing immortal elephant all roared out, shaking Du Xiaoling's divine sense see. 6 extremely large heavenly beasts that seemed to cover the sky appeared in Du Xiaoling's divine sense see. Soul-absorbing devil spell. Chen Xiang said through the 6 heavenly beasts and activated soul-absorbing devil spell. 6 gigantic whirlpools suddenly appeared in the air. The 6 gigantic divine beasts opened their mouths wide, devouring the heavenly energy curse. A large amount of heavenly energy was sucked into the 6 gigantic vortexes like 6 giant pillars. In a short moment, a large expanse of blue sky had already appeared among Du Xiaoling's divine sense sea. So fast! Su Yuqing exclaimed. The second divine sense sea was Chen Xiang's true strength, and this power was usually in deep sleep. Unless absolutely necessary, Chen Xiang would never use it, because if he used it, he did not know if he could control this strong heavenly energy. Of course, if it was only used in the divine sense CS, there wouldn't be any problems. But if these 6 heavenly beasts were to be released outside, according to the special power of the heavenly Tao Pill and Tao Realm, the heavenly beast would borrow the power of natural law principles. These 6 heavenly beasts must be extremely powerful when they borrow natural law principles. He was worried that they might break out of his control then. C-2554. C-2554 Chen Xiang's body was currently unceasingly leaking out black mist. The mist gathered together and turned into black water, which was being absorbed by the Chuangs. Hi plus G-O-D furnace. Only the flames inside the Chuangs. Hi plus G-O-D furnace could incinerate the Heaven's Path incantation. The Heaven's Path curse that could imprison Du Xiaoling must be very strong. Chen Xiang could feel it clearly at this moment. For the next 2 to 3 days, Chen Xiang continued to devour the filthy heavenly energy from the divine sense sea world. The heavenly energy flowed out from his soul. He could feel that the heavenly energy was extremely evil, filled with killing intent and resentment, with many negative emotions. It was extremely vicious. Chen Xiang could not understand why this kind of heavenly energy spell would contain such a terrifying thing, as if it had completely deteriorated. Could it be that there's a problem with the Heaven's Path divine art? Chen Xiang frowned. Or is there someone who is controlling the flow of the heavenly energy? The Heaven's Path curse energy was originally the energy of the heavens, and was especially transformed into the energy of the heavens. After that, it would enter Du Xiaoling's soul and control Du Xiaoling to spread the death poison everywhere. No wonder the death poison is so terrifying. Chen Xiang finally understood the true meaning of death poison. This type of poison contained all sorts of viciousness and death anyway. After using a few days of time, Du Xiaoling's divine sense sea world had finally become extremely clear. Chen Xiang looked at the colossal dragon in the blue sky, and the vermilion bird that was already circling around. All right. Chen Xiang smiled slightly, then kept his second divine sense sea, and left Du Xiaoling's divine sense sea. At this time, both Du Xiaoling and Su Yuqing opened their eyes. Thank you. Du Xiaoling's eyes were moist, currently filled with excitement. You're welcome. She had put in the most effort, and Du Xiaoling was very clear of this point. Seeing that Su Yuqing was so tired, Chen Xiang anxiously let her enter Yu Yao Mountain Villa to rest. She greeted Bai Ziqian before entering. Du Xiaoling looked at Xia Beiling, and did not dare look him in the eye. She did not know that Xia Beiling already knew about her. Let bygones be bygones. I'm very open-minded. Xia Beiling pinched Du Xiaoling's face and giggled. I never thought heaven-poisoned divine spirit was so cute and innocent. Du Xiaoling stared blankly for a moment, secretly rejoiced in his heart, then smiled sweetly at Xia Beiling. Amen, thank you. Xia Beiling rubbed Du Xiaoling's innocent and cute face. Seeing a big spider crawling on the ground, she quickly jumped on it and chased after it. Are you tired? Do you want to take a rest? Bai Ziqian asked. She was already Chen Xiang's woman and was extremely concerned about him. It's not tiring, it's not a problem even if I have to fight with you for 300 rounds. Chen Xiang laughed. Ah, do you fight often? Du Xiaoling knew that their relations, Hi+P was close, but he never thought that they would often fight. Bai Yuyu chuckled. They were fighting in the small hut earlier. Bai Ziqian glared at Bai Yuyu, and then pinched Chen Xiang. U2B, don't teach my master too much, she's very pure. Du Shaoling was confused, but she did not care too much about it. Right now, she was in a very good mood, being able to remove her shackles and at the same time getting Xia Beiling's forgiveness, was the happiest thing in her life. Elder sister Shaoling, do you think my father from the island will be punished again? The death poison has already been expelled by me. Chen Xiang said. You can get rid of that much deadly poison? Du Shaoling didn't dare to tell her about this matter before because he was worried that the mysterious heaven's curse power inside her soul would know about it and let her poison it. Yeah, it was killed with this flame. Chen Xiang released the fire of creation. This is world exterminating flame. Du Shaoling was shocked, and her face slightly changed. What? Isn't that called the Creator's fire? Chen Xiang then took out the chuangs. Hi plus God furnace. This thing is called a chuangs. Hi plus God furnace. Creation and destruction are similar. Once destroyed, you can create anew. In Xia Beiling's hand was a very small cat, only the size of a thumb. Your father's island should no longer be in danger, because the heaven-poisoned divine spirit is no longer. However, I am worried that the heavenly Tao will create another punisher. Du Shaoling said. Xia Beiling laughed. Even if there are new punishers, they will first kill this little scoundrel. She pinched Chen Xiang's face. Chen Xiang slapped her hands away and snorted. You touched so many poisons and you're here to touch my face again. Xia Beiling said in a charming voice. What are you afraid of? Bai Yu asked. Sister Bailing, who was the one who planned all of this? You are so powerful, and you are even using spatial energy, you shouldn't be so easily poisoned. When Bai Yu did not mention it, Xia Beiling had almost forgotten about it. It's 3B, ASTARDS, I have to find them, they actually teamed up to ambush me. First, they used an array disk to mess up the SPAC around me, causing me to lose my senses for a short period of time, then they released a large amount of poisonous gas, which I accidentally absorbed. This formation plate must be very brilliant. Sister Bailing, you are ASPAC Dao Master. Su Yuqing said after hearing it from the Yu Yao Mountain Villa. They are from the undead divine race, they should be from the sacred wasteland. There are traces of the undead divine race in all the great wastelands, and only the sacred wasteland has that kind of strength. Du Shaoling said. Let's not talk about this first. Chen Xiang took out a pile of medicinal ingredients and said, Sister Bailing, you are experienced and knowledgeable, tell me what these are. So many good things. Where did you get them? Xia Beiling anxiously shouted. She was also an alchemist, so she naturally knew about it. Chen Xiang had asked Xie Xiaoyan before at the Hundreds of Flowers village, and she had only thrown out the Emperor Blood Ginseng. These three are Emperor-grade medicinal materials. Du Shaoling recognized her as well. After all, she had lived for a long time, and she specialized in refining poisons. This horn-like GRA-SS is a Dao Dragon Earth GRA-SS. If it is refined together with the Emperor Blood Ginseng, it will be able to create a Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan. Xia Beiling said. This pill is an Emperor middle-tier pill. Furthermore, it is temporarily useless to you, as this is only useful to us Dao sovereigns. The main thing is to cultivate Dao God gold body. Du Shaoling nodded and said, above the Dao sovereign is the Dao God. One must cultivate up to the Dao God gold body in order to be able to bear the powerful heavenly energy of the Dao Gods and step into the Dao God realm. What about this potato thing? Chen Xiang pointed to the potato that looked like a golden crystal. I don't know. Xia Beiling shook his head and looked at Du Shaoling. Elder sister Shaoling definitely knows. Du Shaoling chuckled. This is called a jiryang earthly fruit, a fruit that grows underground. There is a core within it that can be used to grow. The Jiuyang earthly fruit contains a special Jiuyang Dao power, something stronger than the profound Tao power. On the same level, the Jiuyang Dao power is 10 times more powerful than the profound Tao power. C 2555. C 2555. This 9 yang earth cuc. Mbur. No, ghastly fruit, it's that powerful. Chen Xiang looked at Xia Beiling. Xia Beiling also did not think that she was from the spirit wasteland, so he did not know much about this kind of medicine that had profound Tao power as. Elder sister Xiaoling, we still have profound fruit. If we refine the pellets together with the Jiuyang earthly fruit, wouldn't that be even more powerful? Xia Beiling immediately said. Du Xiaoling nodded his head. Actually, high-level medicines can be matched very freely when refining, mainly because high-level ingredients are rare, and there are very few inherent pill formulas. A single medicinal ingredient to refine into a pill would have very good effects. I need you guys to try it. I only know how to refine poisons, I do not know how to refine pills, but it should be more or less the same. Bai Ziqian asked, what is the use of the profound Tao power? The combination of the power of the profound yellow and the power of the heavenly Tao will make it even more powerful. You might not be able to sense it now, but if you manage to cultivate it to the Tao profound realm, you will understand. Du Xiaoling said. In the entire primordial wastelands, only the Tao auras of profound wasteland and sacred wasteland contain the profound Tao power, and only these two places are able to produce medicinal ingredients that contain the profound Tao power. Xia Beiling pouted and said, then doesn't that mean that our profound Tao power isn't strong? Tao sovereigns are weak compared to the sacred wasteland and the profound wasteland Tao sovereigns? If we were to compare strength, then it would indeed be much weaker. However, it doesn't matter. We can catch up later on. Du Xiaoling said. After that, Bai Yuyu told Bai Ziqian the method to cultivate the heart of the profound way, which Bai Ziqian did not know about. After hearing it, Du Xiaoling was very surprised. Chen Xiang, is this a method to create something? Truly amazing. If I can truly cultivate my heart of the profound way, then I can turn my own Tao energy into profound Tao power, and when it is needed, I can transform it without needing to go from a newly mulat state to a new one. Right now I have already cultivated the heart of the profound way. I think if I can refine the Jiuyang earthly fruit and the profound fruit into a pill, it would be very easy to form the mind. Chen Xiang said. It won't be easy to grow many of them. This emperor-grade medicinal herb will take a very long time to grow. Xia Beiling also wanted to quickly refine more. She wanted to cultivate until she had a clear mind. It's not too long. There are already more than 10 profound fruit here. Chen Xiang laughed. Du Xiaoling and Bai Ziqian did not know that Chen Xiang had a creation divine well, but hearing Chen Xiang's words, Du Xiaoling picked up the profound fruit and looked at it. The aura of the creation divine spring. Do you have a creator's well? Du Xiaoling said in shock. This is the natural law divine spirit's treasure, and it's actually in your hands. He gave it to me. Chen Xiang suddenly laughed sinisterly. Elder sister Xiaoling, that guy still has something good. When I see him again, I'll see if I can get back here. The best thing about him is this creation God's well. Since he has already given it to you, don't think about his things. Du Xiaoling laughed. Little scoundrel, come back after you grow those emperor-grade medicinal herbs. I want to stay here for a while. Xia Beiling said. I also want to cultivate my impenetrable physique. Elder sister Xiaoling, you definitely have a way, right? Xia Beiling had experienced death poison before, and had also experienced Sky Evolution's poison, so she was very afraid of poison. She was very envious of Chen Xiang's poison, so she wasn't afraid of anything. I do have a way, but I have to endure a lot of hards. Hi+PS. I can't guarantee that I won't succeed. Du Xiaoling thought about it and said, no problem, I'm not afraid of hard work, I want to learn from you, Xia Beiling said. Chen Xiang had already helped Bai Yu find Bai Ziqian, and even helped him get rid of the curse, so it was time for him to return. Bai Ziqian continued to stay here. The reason why Du Shaoling stayed in Beast Wasteland was because there were not many humans there. Sometimes she had to go out to refine some poison, and if there was an accident and the poison leaked out, it would affect many people. Before Chen Xiang left, Du Shaoling gave him 3 small jade boxes. The black box is a heaven's divination poison, you should already understand it by now. Inside the white box was the heart-devouring bone poison. If one touched it, all of the bones and heart in one's body would melt. As for the red box, it is called drunken sky powder. If you smell even a trace of it, you would feel weak all over, and if you are unable to use your Tao energy, your divine soul will become sluggish. Du Shaoling warned repeatedly, this is all for your personal defense. You must be careful when using it, so as to not harm the innocent. Then, she gave Chen Xiang a jade bottle. Inside this bottle is the antidote I refined, it can cure all 3 poisons. If you accidentally poison an innocent person, it can be used to cure the poison. What a great item! Can it deal with Tao sovereigns or something? Chen Xiang asked. It can poison a Tao sovereign, but a vigilant Tao sovereign can prevent the poison from spreading. If he wants to spread it all over his body, the only way is to poison his heart. Du Shaoling said seriously. I am only giving you protection. With your current cultivation, you cannot go face to face with the Tao sovereign, it is very dangerous. I know, thank you. Chen Xiang laughed. I must remember this. In order to make Chen Xiang remember, Du Shaoling had even pinched Chen Xiang's face, causing him to laugh foolishly. Just like this, Chen Xiang brought Bai Yu and Su Yuqing back to the Hundreds of Flowers village, and Su Yuqing once again returned to their artifact forging team. As for Bai Yu, she planned to follow Chen Xiang for a while, because the members of the War G.O.D. team were all outside, she didn't want to go out alone, either. Inside the Hundreds of Flowers village, Feng Yujie, Xie Xiaoyan and the others had already started refining S.Hi plus Padan. Chen Xiang and Chu Hongqing had previously refined quite a few already, which was enough for them to eat by themselves. Feng Yujie and the others did not just refine pills for the Hundreds of Flowers village's women to eat, the Heavenly Dragon City also needed it, and the Heavenly Dragon City did not want it for nothing. They would go to various places to gather some resources that the Hundreds of Flowers village said they needed, and at the same time, plant a large amount of medicinal herbs. With the formation Long Jiuxiao had set up to grow medicinal ingredients, the speed of the cultivation would also be extremely fast, and the others also planned to return to the profound wasteland. After all, they had their own city there. When it was night time, Chen Xiang brought them to the profound wasteland and entered the city. What was surprising was that there was no attack from the city and everything was very quiet. The Tao aura in the city had already become extremely strong, and it was all created by Tai Yuntian. Chen Xiang did not stay there for long. When he came to 3 Money Divine City, he found out from Huang Jintian that Fan S.Hi plus Xian had been looking for him these past few days. Manor Lord Fan, is there anything you need me for? Chen Xiang asked. He was a little worried that the matter of him killing the descendants of the Sky Desolate in Sacred Wasteland would be discovered. The more important thing is that although our 3 great native banks have achieved some results in their training, we are currently unable to enter the Devil Wasteland or the Devil Wasteland. We will need your help. Fan S.Hi plus Xian said. Evil Wasteland and the Black Hares human inside the Devil Wasteland have roughly 2 months to break through the barrier, and we plan to start a real battle soon. See 2556 Zhuang Real War. See 2556 Zhuang Real War. When Xin Xiang heard that they were going to fight against the Xanthopanax, he felt a little puzzled and asked immediately, "Why aren't you going to the Xianhuang?" The black-haired man inside the Xianhuang is not that fierce. They will definitely not be as hard to deal with as the Xanthopanax and the others. Xin Xiang also had a little understanding of the Xianhuang, so he felt that it would be good if he could perform it inside the Xianhuang. Fan S. Hi plus Xian shook his head. Based on the information you gathered from the Xianhuang, it's not good to enter the Xianhuang now. The black-haired man in the Xianhuang will only awaken later. If we enter the Xianhuang now to fight, it will definitely disturb the other black-haired man, which is not beneficial for the people that are still alive. Hearing Fan S. Hi plus Xian's words, Xin Xiang thought about it and felt that it made sense. Although there were a lot of black-haired mans, many of them had yet to wake up. On the other hand, the team that 3 major banks was in was very strong, and could easily rouse black-haired man from his stupor. If we enter the demonic desolation or the Xanthopanax, we can attack without a care. Fan Shi plus Xian said, the array masters of our 3 major banks have yet to find a way to enter the demonic desolation, so we can only look for you. We have our own storage equipment. When the time comes, you just have to bring us in. Xin Xiang nodded. He had also brought people from the 3 major banks into the Xianhuang before. How many of you are going in this time? So are all the people in training in there? Xin Xiang asked. Only those with Dao and Profound Realm or above will be able to enter. Only those with Dao and Profound Realm have the strength to kill the black-haired man. Fan S. Hi plus Xian said, only by letting them inside to fight once will we be able to accumulate more experience, and now we are training with the black-haired man, I understand. When are we leaving? Just people from the 3 major banks S. So there were no disciples from the new 8 wastelands S. According to his knowledge, Yun Xiaodao and the others were all training in a sect constructed in the 3 major banks. Xin Xiang knew that this kind of training would not be of much use, because the most important thing to deal with black-haired man was the profound Tao power. Only by cultivating the profound Tao power would one be able to break through the black-haired man's defense. Only those in the Holy Desolate could cultivate this kind of profound Tao power, so people like Yun Xiaodao who came from the new 8 wastelands did not have many profound Tao power. Of course, the women who were concocting pills in the 100 Flowers village were already speeding up their process of refining Xian Dao Wang Dan. Feng Yujie also said the recipe to the women in the 9 Heavens Dragon City. Oh right, Xin Xiang, I heard that there's a kind of Wanjia Dan called Xian Dao Wang Dan, does that have anything to do with you? The native bank that was in charge of the new 8 wastelands also received some information. Yes, after eating it, one can quickly obtain profound Tao power, and does not need to absorb it from any specific Tao aura. Xin Xiang said as he nodded his head. I got some medicinal ingredients from the Xianhuang and then refined them myself. Fan S. Hi plus Xian laughed. I didn't expect you to have so many connections and have prepared sufficiently, which can reduce the pressure on our 3 major banks. Right now we need to work together. Would it be possible to exchange information with you on this kind of Xian Dao Wang Dan? Master Fan, you don't understand much about pills, so it's useless for me to tell you about it. You arrange for your alchemist to go find Long Jiuxiao and have him arrange for your alchemist to communicate with you. Xin Xiang replied. They will definitely be very willing. Fan Shi plus Xn nodded her head and laughed. Then I will go now to prepare to head to demonic desolation. Xin Xiang did not expect to go now so fast. Xin Xiang had originally planned to cultivate for a period of time in order to raise his Dao Soul realm to the 4th stage, but now Fan Hi plus Xian was going to set off. Time is pressing now. Do you have any other important things to do during this period of time? Fan Hi plus Xian said. No, let's go now. I had originally planned to train for a bit, raise my strength a bit, and then train in demonic desolation. Shen Xiang laughed. After Fan S. Hi plus Xin and Shen Xiang had an agreement, they immediately brought Shen Xiang to the Holy Desolate and arranged for a good person to be brought there. Shen Xiang went inside the Eternal Life School and waited there. He heard from an elder that there were a total of 90 small teams. Right now, Shen Xiang was meeting his second senior sister Song Youngying, who he met last time in Eternal Life School. Each team has 10 people. These are all our elite disciples. The elder said, while Song Youngying had already come to the Great Hall. When the elder saw Song Youngying and the rest, he said to Shen Xiang, "These 10 are our Eternal Life School's strongest young team." When Song Youngying came here and saw Shen Xiang, he also felt it was strange. He had already started his training and did not see Shen Xiang at all. "Elder, is he coming with us?" Song Youngying asked. She was not too clear about Shen Xiang's ident. 1. Tai, she only knew that Shen Xiang had grasped a terrifying sword technique, which was as powerful as their sword hall elder. Of course. The elder laughed. Ah, he's only at the Tao Soul Realm. Didn't they say that only those at the Tao and Profound Realm can go? Is he going to be in our team? Song Youngying's face was filled with worry. It's not that we're worried that he will be dragging us down, it's just that we're worried that the black-haired man is too powerful. When the time comes, we won't be able to protect him. The elder shook his head and smiled. Without him, we would not have been able to enter the demonic desolation, and that's why he brought us in. Shen Xiang chuckled. Senior sister Song, aren't you looking down on people too much? No matter what, you are still a defeated opponent. Song Youngying was shocked. They already knew that the enchantments would be extremely difficult to enter, and even the many powerful formation masters of their Eternal Life School were unable to enter. So this method was to let Shen Xiang bring him in. Humph, that was just my carelessness. Song Youngying scoffed. You're really amazing, hiding your strength well. Only now did Song Youngying and the others know that Shen Xiang was extremely familiar with their higher-ups in the Eternal Life School. Soon, Fan S. Hi plus Xin arrived with 2 more people. One of them was the bald fatty, and the other was the goatee elder. Both of them were the 3 villa masters of 3 Lives Native Bank and Life Native Bank. Shen Xiang, I forgot to introduce him to you last time. This is the 3rd Villa Master of Lifeless Native Bank, Pan Yuan. Fan Hi plus Xn pointed to the smiling bald middle-aged man, then pointed at the goatee and said, "This is 3 Lives Native Bank's 3 Villa Master, Lu Shansa. Kid, Shen Xiang, I've already seen the 2 Manor Lords before, you're really powerful." Shen Xiang laughed. "You are the powerful one, we are all unable to enter the demonic desolation, but you are able to." Pan Yuan laughed and said, "Let's head out now." The 3 of us, the Manor Lords, led the way. C 2557. C 2557 Pure Text Online Read Local Domain Name Mobile Phone Synchronous Read Please visit Song Youngying and the other disciples were all shocked by Shen Xiang's position, even they did not dare to speak to these Villa Masters casually, as the position of these 3 Villa Masters was much higher compared to the sect leader under the banner of the 3 Native Bank. But from the looks of it, Shen Xiang had a very good relations. Hi plus P with Fan S. Hi plus Xn. Alright, let's head out now. I wanted to go to Devil Wasteland for a look since a long time ago. Shen Xiang said. Oh right, didn't Undead Divine Race and Evil Spirit Race go to the Devil Wasteland to mess around last time? What happened then? We fought with them. They suffered heavy casualties, so we're fine. Fan S. Hi plus Xin took out a small jade house and told Song Youngying's group to go inside. There were a lot of disciples in his small jade house. These guys need to be on guard. I wonder if the 3 Manor Lords have heard of the Heaven's Divination Poison? Shen Xiang asked. The three villa masters had heard it before, because when they heard Chen Xiang say those words, their faces suddenly changed. Chen Xiang, have you seen this poison before? Fan S. Hi plus Xin asked quickly. I've seen them. They used the Heaven's divination poison to attack a Dao sovereign right at the spirit wasteland. I wonder how they got this poison. Chen Xiang said. Looks like undead divine race can't sit still anymore. They actually dared to use this poison. Fan S. Hi plus Xion's expression became grave, and then he took out a jade talisman. It should be a message. 256-4404 Proud of the World Pill G. OD Proud of the World Pill G. OD. Pan Yuan and Lu Shanze had also taken out their communication jade symbol paper to send out the message, probably to report this matter. Above them, there were two other villa masters who were even more terrifying. Alright, let's set off now. Our villa's master will come up with a plan to deal with the undead divine race. You don't have to worry. Fan S. Hi plus Xian said. Soon after, Chen Xiang followed Fan S. Hi plus Xian to a transmission array. This transmission array can directly teleport us outside of Devil Wasteland, but you only need to bring us through that barrier. Fan S. Hi plus Xian said. After you bring us in, you can come back immediately and pick us up at a later time. That was why there were three villa masters leading the way. These three villa masters did not want Chen Xiang to encounter any danger within the Devil Wasteland. Alright, I might have to stay in there for a while when the time comes, Chen Xiang said. He had 6 realms mirrors, so he could protect himself inside, but as long as he did not meet a leader-level Black Hairs human, those level of Black Hairs human would all be Dao sovereigns, extremely powerful. The transmission array opened, and Chen Xiang and the others arrived outside the Devil Wasteland. Chen Xiang looked around. It was a wasteland. The surroundings were filled with the aura of death. The aura of death was all coming from the Devil Wasteland. This was originally a GRA's land, but now it has become like this. Pan Yuan sighed. This barrier won't last for long before it explodes. Now that the death aura had already leaked out, it was clear that the barrier would not last for long. Let's go in now. Chen Xiang took out his 6 realms mirrors. Seeing him, the 3 manor lords were very surprised. Chen Xiang actually had this kind of thing, although they did not know much about the 6 realms mirrors, but they could tell that this was a very powerful thing. Of course, they were just curious and didn't ask too much. They all mounted Chen Xiang's 6 realms mirrors. Chen Xiang channeled the energy of the White Tiger Dao mark, and then teleported into the barrier, arriving inside the Devil Wasteland in the blink of an eye. You're in. Fan S. Hi plus Xian looked behind him. Indeed, he had already entered. Following after, he felt an extremely bitter aura of death. 256-4404 Proud of the World Pill G. OD Proud of the World Pill G. OD. Pan Yuan looked at the sky. The entire Devil Wasteland is covered up by this evil aura. It can be seen how scary of an event this place has been through. The Black Hairs human in here should be even more terrifying than the profound wasteland. Chen Xiang had already sensed an unusual aura. All the Black Hairs human inside the Devil Wasteland had awakened very early. There must have been a certain degree of evolution. Fan S. Hi plus Xian and the other 2 manor lords each took out a small jade hut. After tossing the jade hut far away, the small jade hut slowly grew in size and turned into a palace in the blink of an eye. Chen Xiang, if you don't want to go back, you can stay in the palaces too. The 3 palaces are very stu, are dysprosium, Fan S. Hi plus Xian said. And Chen Xiang nodded. He planned to stay here to cultivate for a while before going. Not long later, the disciples of the 3 palaces walked out, and Chen Xiang entered one of the palaces, choosing a secret room. He was going to continue eating Hi plus Padan S to break through. Chu Hongqing and Yang Xiangyin were currently cultivating. They had previously eaten Hi plus Padan and were currently refining its medicinal power, making a breakthrough very quickly. There are still 200 pills, which should be enough for me to enter the 4th level of Dao Per Realm. Right now, Chen Xiang was already at the 3rd level of the Dao Per Realm, so entering the 4th level shouldn't be too difficult. After eating the Hi plus Padan, he started to cultivate. 3 days later, Chen Xiang had already stepped into the 4th level of Dao Per Realm. It might be difficult for others, but it was extremely easy for him. At this moment, while he was plussing the sweat off his body in the secret room, he felt someone plussing the door open. Although the palace was very safe, it was, after all, inside the Devil Wasteland, so Chen Xiang could be vigilant at any time, and release AC domain at any time. Who are they? Chen Xiang immediately turned into a mist and hid himself. Then, he floated outside and saw 2 people. There should be someone inside. There's still water here. Did he discover us? The one who spoke was a very skinny man, and judging from his clothes, he was from Eternal Life School. Could it be because the battle outside is too intense that he used teleportation to escape after disturbing him? Another man said. That might be possible. I heard that this guy's spatial force is very strong. It seems that we've failed this time. What a rare opportunity. The very skinny man sighed. Don't worry. If our men succeed, once these 3 palaces fall, this fellow will die sooner or later. That's right, the 3 great native banks cannot compete with us. They should still not know that we were the ones behind the Black Hairs humans' awakening and evolution. This time they've come in for a real battle, 80% of them won't be able to make it back. Hearing these, Chen Xiang was shocked. He never thought that the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family would be the culprit, and their motive was clear, to attack the 3 great native banks. Chen Xiang thought about it and decided to not deal with these 2 fellows for the time being. Otherwise, he would alert the enemy, and he would have to contact Fan Hi plus Xin quickly. After that, he would discuss with Fan Hi plus Xin and the others how to handle this matter. Seems like all 3 palaces have been attacked by the Black Hairs human. I wonder how long they can last. Chen Xiang could guess that there was a traitor within the 3 native banks, and the 2 that Chen Xiang had just seen were them. The 3 palaces that had just appeared were attacked so quickly. They should have been attracted over by the spies. C-2558. C-2558 Chen Xiang teleported to the outside and discovered that many disciples were fighting with Black Hairs human. The number of Black Hairs human did not seem to be that high, so all the disciples dared to leave. Not good, there won't be that few Black Hairs human. Chen Xiang frowned. These disciples are too inexperienced, it's obvious that they were lured out. Chen Xiang didn't need to think about it to know that there would definitely be a Black Hairs human in this area. He immediately rode his 6 realms mirrors and flew over, shouting at the disciples who were fighting, telling them to quickly enter the palace. The defenses of the 3 palaces were very strong. Just now, when Chen Xiang came out, he could feel that if he was attacked, he would definitely be able to hold on for a while. These disciples all knew of the relations Hi plus P between Chen Xiang and the 3 villa masters, so after hearing Chen Xiang's words, they all returned to the palace, although they still did not understand the reason. Everyone, it's impossible to have so few Black Hairs human, especially this one. Chen Xiang said, even if there are so few Black Hairs human attacking us, the number of people after this will definitely increase. Moreover, there is a fellow like the transmission master among the strong Black Hairs human as well, so the transmission master I met before could teleport thousands of Black Hairs human in one go. Chen Xiang's voice was very loud. He was telling the disciples of the three palaces to understand what kind of crisis they were in just now. The two spies who had tried to kill Qin Xiang earlier couldn't help but curse when they heard Qin Xiang's words. If the disciples that left the palace to fight did not return, when they had exhausted most of their energy in the battle, a large number of black hairs humans would have teleported over, and all of them would have been killed. Just as Qin Xiang finished speaking, a large group of black hairs humans suddenly appeared, surrounding the three palaces tightly. There were at least 100,000 black hairs humans. There were many disciples on the floors of the palace that could be seen from the windows. Seeing this, they couldn't help but break out in cold sweat. If not for Qin Xiang calling them in, they would have died without a doubt. After the black hairs human appeared, he started to attack the three palaces crazily, but he was unable to break through the defense of the palaces. Qin Xiang told everyone to calm down and to wait inside the palace for the three villa masters to return. Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the others had only brought a portion of the team out, the majority of them were left behind. Qin Xiang took out his communication jade symbol paper and sent a message to Fan S. Hi plus Xin. Villa owner Fan, where are you guys? Come back quickly, there's a traitor, and he attracted a large group of black hairs human. Qin Xiang said, but he did not receive a reply. It was possible that he was too far away. Qin Xiang had just used her consciousness to monitor those two fellows who wanted to assassinate her. Those two fellows did not dare to do anything now, and their strengths were not weak either, they were both from the Dao Hi plus realm, but they were not the strongest people here. Now, everyone had retreated back into the palace. If the two of them were to take action and kill Qin Xiang, the matter would be exposed. It seemed that he had to forge that pill in advance. Even if he had to use both Zhiyang earthly fruit S to refine, this would be an extremely huge challenge for Qin Xiang as he was currently unable to refine even an emperor pill. First, we will separate the refining of Zhiyang earthly fruit and the refining of Profound fruit. Qin Xiang planned to start right now. If Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the rest are unable to return within a short period of time, then the three palaces would be in danger. He didn't know if the Zhiyang Dao power that Du Shaoling was talking about was really strong, but Du Shaoling had said that this kind of Zhiyang Dao power had a strong killing power that could instantly kill black hairs human. Qin Xiang could only try it first. The devil-suppressing magic power he had previously used against demons had a very good effect. Even if it was much stronger than him, he would still lose miserably against these devil-suppressing magic power. So Qin Xiang thought that the current profound Tao power and Zhiyang Dao power were similar to the devil-suppressing magic power. Arriving at the palace, Qin Xiang asked the few array masters inside about how long the defensive array could last. At this point, they were all worried, because the palace's defensive array could only defend for a month at most. There's still a month, that's enough. Chu Hongqing said. In another 10 days, the Zhiyang earthly fruit will be harvested, and there should be a lot of Profound fruit. Right now, within 10 days, Qin Xiang had to familiarize himself with refining Profound fruit. At that time, with refining together with the Zhiyang earthly fruit, it would not be too difficult. Yes, I'll start now. Qin Xiang returned to the secret room. This time, he reinforced the door of the secret room, using the 6 realms mirrors to release a seal. Even Dao's sovereign would need a bit of strength to break through. Qin Xiang took out a Profound fruit. Although the Profound fruit was completely black, it emitted a dense amount of profound Tao power, and there was even a crystal core within it. Just as Qin Xiang was about to put the Profound fruit into the furnace to refine it, his communication jade symbol paper suddenly shook. Qin Xiang, we are in trouble here. We did not expect the black hairs human to be so strong compared to what we imagined. You must hold on until we return. The palace can probably last for 1 month. If we do not return in 20 days, you will think of a way to run out of the palace on your own, and go to the sacred wasteland to call for reinforcements. Fan S. Hi plus Xin finally replied to Qin Xiang, let's talk about the traitor first. You have to keep an eye on them during this period of time. Qin Xiang sighed. The Black Hare's human was indeed powerful, even Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the others could not resist it, and fell into a difficult situation. Right now, Qin Xiang could only wait patiently for 20 days. At that time, if he did not have any progress in pill refining, he would have to return to the sacred wasteland. I wonder if there are any Black Hare's humaness with the strength of Dao sovereigns outside. Qin Xiang was a little worried at the moment, but he had asked those formation masters before. So far, their strongest attack was only at the Dao sect level. Qin Xiang placed the Di-Profound fruit into the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace. This was his first time refining an Emperor stage medicinal herb, so he was rather excited. Of course, right now he was only refining the Di-Profound fruit by himself. The Di-Profound fruit had to be refined together with the Jiuyang earthly fruit. He was also very eager to refine the Jiuyang Dao power. Di-Profound fruit S should be low-grade Emperor stage medicinal herbs, and Jiuyang earthly fruit S should be mid-grade Emperor stage medicinal herbs. If the two are combined to refine pellets, it would be mid-grade Emperor stage medicinal pellet. Qin Xiang said, if I can refine this Di-Profound fruit into a pill, then I can understand how to refine low-grade Emperor stage pellet. After that, refining a middle-grade pellet will be much easier. If I were to add those purple pearls to water, the Jiuyang earthly fruit might be able to reap a good harvest a few days in advance. Chu Hongqing said. She was also aware of the current situation. That's for the best. Qin Xiang released the flames and began refining the Di-Profound fruit. C2559. C2559. The process of refining the Di-Profound fruit was not as easy as Qin Xiang had imagined. After all, this was an emperor-level medicinal ingredient, and it was even a bit special, and there was a large amount of profound Tao power contained within. Fortunately, he had refined a few profound Dao King Dan before, so he had some experience with the characteristics of the profound Tao power. Qin Xiang only started for a short while before he encountered a very thorny problem. The layer of black fruit flesh and skin on the Di-Profound fruit's surface suddenly cracked, as if it was going to break. After it cracked open, waves of profound Tao power S were constantly used inside the Di-Profound fruit, and this profound Tao power had a huge impact on the flame, causing it to not burn in its normal state and becoming a little berserk. The inside of the Di-Profound fruit is a crystal core. If this crystal core is not suppressed, this situation will definitely continue. Qin Xiang immediately used Tai Chi to release a small Taiji Yin and Yang map and seal that crystal core. The crystal core quickly stabilized and the flames inside the furnace became much calmer. In just a few moments, it returned to its normal state, and Qin Xiang managed to refine it relatively smoothly now. The fruit flesh and skin outside the crystal core had already been slowly refined and turned into medicinal liquid. Right now, only the crystal core had not been refined. The crystal core contained a lot of profound Tao power S. Qin Xiang continued to release the Creator's fire to burn it, using the mirage flame to slowly refine it from the inside of the crystal core. This crystal nucleus was the most valuable part of the entire Di-Profound fruit. Qin Xiang had to burn it for a good 6 hours before he managed to refine the entire crystal core into a medicinal liquid. There was a lot of liquid medicine inside the furnace. After all, the crystal core had compressed a lot of profound Tao power S, so after refining, there would be a lot of compressed profound Tao power S that had turned into liquid. Looks like the difficulty of refining this Di-Profound fruit is not too high. I just wonder how it will fuse with the Jiuyang earthly fruit. Qin Xiang began to condense the pill. He planned to condense this huge S of medicinal liquid into a single pellet. Of course, if he were to divide it into a few groups, condensing a few pellets would not be a problem, but right now, in order to obtain more profound Tao power, and condense them into a single pellet, the quality would increase even more. At this time, he was using the sublimation refining method to refine, which could improve his quality. In order to succeed, he did not plan to use the crash method, as it would consume a lot of energy. If I knew, I would have refined it with a Jutian Danding. This Jutian Danding can improve its quality by a lot. Chen Xiang was currently refining with a Chuang's Hi plus God furnace. The Jutian Danding was something he had won in a gambling match with before, and it was also a very good heavenly artifact. The process of condensing a pill was not easy. It required a very long time, especially on the first try. Normally, it would take a very long time for it to be completed. Chen Xiang spent an entire 2 days to condense one Emperor Profound Core. Dijia Dan are just used to cultivate profound Tao power. Chen Xiang looked at the golden pellet and then ate it. Right now, he urgently needed to cultivate the heart of the profound way. As long as he could cultivate the mind, he could absorb the profound energy in his divine sense C through the heart of the profound way and quickly turn it into profound Tao power. In other words, as long as he succeeded, the vast amount of Tao energy in his divine sense C would be equivalent to profound Tao power, and he wouldn't need to cultivate the profound Tao power alone like the people in the profound wasteland and the profound wasteland. As for the cultivators in Profound Wasteland and Sacred Wasteland, from the moment they started cultivating, they were able to absorb the profound Tao power from the Tao energy. However, other than these two places, no one else had such conditions. After Chen Xiang consumed the Emperor Profound Pellet, he quickly entered into a state of cultivation. At this time, the profound Tao power was like a large river, flowing endlessly into the heart. The Emperor Profound Core contained an extremely large amount of profound Tao power. In half a day, Chen Xiang refined the medicinal power into the heart of the profound way, and at the same time, his heart of the profound way became stronger and stronger. He was already able to convert the Tao power into profound Tao power, but its speed was rather slow. If he had a mental plan, he could instantly transform it. Chen Xiang also did not refine any Emperor Profound pills now, but was waiting for the Jiuyang earthly fruit S to grow out. Hongqing, how is the growth of this Jiuyang earthly fruit? Chen Xiang asked. Jiuyang earthly fruit need to be buried deep under the soil. Chu Hongqing said. The Jiuyang earthly fruit will bud on its own, then grow a blade of GRA S and then split the GRA S into branches to grow other Jiuyang earthly fruit. In other words, if it is planted, isn't it a string of fruits? Chen Xiang laughed. Yes, the one from before. There are around 20 of them in a row. With the help of the purple pearls, they will mature and be used to concoct pills after 2 more days or so. Chu Hongqing said. There were still 2 days' worth of time, and Chen Xiang couldn't wait any longer either. As long as he went out for a walk, he could see through a window that many black hairs human outside were still attacking the palace. In order for the palace to resist, the array formation continued to circulate. This way, it would continuously consume energy. Once the energy inside the palace was used up, the black hairs human would be able to attack. I wonder if there's a Tao Sovereign's black hairs human outside. Chen Xiang pondered. He did not know if he could match up to the black hairs human with the Tao Sovereign level of cultivation once he mastered it. He felt that by relying on the 6 realms mirrors as his defense and using the heavenly magic sword as support, he would be able to kill quite a few black hairs human. If the other party had a Tao Sovereign, he wouldn't dare to act rashly. Chen Xiang took out the heavenly magic sword, changed it into a 9th heaven divine bow, and shot it towards the black hairs human outside. He aimed at the heart of a black hairs human, and after the arrow pierced through the heart of that black hairs human suddenly exploded. The black hairs human outside were very concentrated, so a single explosion would affect the surrounding area. Just this one arrow alone had already cost a few thousand. Like the black hairs human the heart is their weakness. Chen Xiang was secretly happy. This was an extremely fatal blow. After the arrow just now, black hairs humans seemed to have received orders, as they scattered apart, maintaining a certain distance. This way, even if they exploded again, they wouldn't blow up a large area like before. There must be a leader nearby. Chen Xiang used the Dao Heart Eye to carefully observe. Amongst the surrounding black hairs human, that Gene Xin was the same size, and there were no transmission masters inside. The transmission master must have been complex enough to teleport over to ordinary black hairs human, then they all hid themselves. The black hairs human here seems to be very smart. Chu Hongqing said, "This is not easy to deal with." Previously, when Chen Xiang was inside the profound wasteland, when he teamed up with Tai Xiong and the others, he had easily killed thousands of the black hairs human, and they were all in the distance at that. Chen Xiang was waiting for the Jiuyang earthly fruit to mature, so he also planned to use the 9 Shao God's bow to kill as many people as possible in the next 2 days. C. 2560. C. 2560. When Chen Xiang was killing black hairs human, he discovered that the 2 spies were nearby. They were obviously monitoring him. Chen Xiang did not have much patience left. If he was watched like this again, it was very possible that he would torture the 2 of them to death, regardless of the cost. Wait till I finish cultivating my mind. Manor Lord Fan and the others still haven't returned. I will finish off these 2 fellows first. Chen Xiang thought. 2 days had said, and the Jiuyang earthly fruit had matured. Chen Xiang was already impatient and hurriedly entered the secret room. Previously, he had planned to refine Jiuyang earthly fruit by himself, but now, with some impatience, he decided to do so too. Let's use the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace first. It would be more convenient to refine it with the world creation flame. Chen Xiang wanted to use Jutian Danding, but he was not familiar with refining Jiuyang earthly fruit yet, so it would be easier for him to fail when using Jutian Danding. Chen Xiang felt like he was putting the Diprofound fruit into a pill furnace to refine it. When he was almost done, he separated out ASP AC inside the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace and placed the medicinal liquid to the side. Then, he placed the Jiuyang earthly fruit into the furnace so that he could refine the Jiuyang earthly fruit alone. The Jiuyang earthly fruit and the Diprofound fruit are very different. The Diprofound fruit is just an inner crystal, but the entire Jiuyang earthly fruit is crystallized. Chen Xiang refined it using his flames, and it was extremely difficult to move it. That was why he had no choice but to refine it from the inside out. Even so, the refining speed was still very slow, and it was difficult for it to reach the speed he had expected. This sort of crystallized item is really hard to forge. Chen Xiang really wanted to shatter this piece of crystal, but he was worried that breaking it would affect the integrity of the entire Jiuyang earthly fruit, and would affect the quality. Seems like I can only try that move. Chen Xiang took a deep breath, and started to release a huge amount of creation flame inside the furnace, compressed all of the fierce flames together. Not long after, they became liquid. Chen Xiang wrapped the ball of liquid flame around the Jiuyang earthly fruit, and then used a large amount of strength to create a strong pressure. Then, he poured the liquid fire into the Jiuyang earthly fruit. The liquid fire essence contained a very strong burning power, and this kind of fire essence was not something that could be created easily. It was something that Chen Xiang had comprehended from the heavenly alchemy, and it had a very strong refining power, especially towards this sort of crystallized thing. The flame liquid seeped into the Jiuyang earthly fruit, and the Jiuyang earthly fruit also continuously emitted mist of air. When the flame liquid completely seeped in, Chen Xiang controlled the ball of flame liquid to slowly expand. Meanwhile, the crystallized Jiuyang earthly fruit was also expanding along with the fire liquid, slowly melting as it increased in size. In just an hour, the entire Jiuyang earthly fruit had turned into a medicinal liquid. This technique really does work. However, the energy it consumes is quite great. It requires quite a bit of Tao energy to condense the liquid flame. Chen Xiang was secretly happy. He had finally refined the Jiuyang earthly fruit. Let's call it the pressure refinement method. Chen Xiang slowly let out a breath. Although he had already refined the Jiuyang earthly fruit, it did not mean that he would succeed. This was because he still had to fuse the Jiuyang earthly fruit's medicinal liquid with the Dai profound fruit. It was not easy to fuse them. Chen Xiang felt a headache just thinking about it, but he could only bite the bullet and charge forward. Chen Xiang took a few deep breaths and then started to fuse the two medicinal liquids. The process of fusion could be said to be the hardest. If he did not have any special techniques, he could only rely on brute force to fuse the two liquids. Chen Xiang, on the other hand, had skills. He had many different methods in the heavenly alchemy to solve the problems that would arise when he mixed in with many different methods. The process of fusing the Dai profound fruit and the Jiuyang earthly fruit wasn't as difficult as Chen Xiang had expected, because the two both had certain attributes of the profound Tao power. Furthermore, he had used various methods of the heavenly alchemy when refining them, so he could solve the difficult problem of fusing them, such as the original source refining. Although it wasn't difficult, it still took Chen Xiang 2 days. It's only been 2 days, not too long. Chen Xiang was just a bit short of perspiration, but he had finally fused with it, and the next step was to condense a pill. This time, he also planned to condense one pellet, and when he condensed the pellet, he also used the sublimation refining method to improve its quality. The condensing of the pellet required time, and Chen Xiang had to spend an entire day to condense it. I've finally succeeded. Chen Xiang took out a small bead that glimmered with a golden white light. It looked like a crystal. This Xian core should be considered as a mid-grade emperor-level Xian core. Chen Xiang could not help but reveal a smile. Previously, after consuming the Emperor Profound Core, his Heart of the Profound Way had also improved a lot. If he had eaten the mid-grade Emperor Profound Core now, he had a 70% chance of being able to cultivate it. To be able to refine a mid-grade Emperor-level pill in 3 days, he is truly amazing. In the past, I heard that it would take at least a month to refine a low-grade Emperor Dan. Yang Xiangyin exclaimed. Hee, don't you know who is concocting pills? Chen Xiang laughed. Your master is not like those alchemists. After Chen Xiang consumed this 9-yang Emperor Profound Core, he suddenly activated his cultivation technique, preparing to refine the energy into the Heart of the Profound Way. Once the 9-yang Emperor Profound Core released a wave of medicinal power, Chen Xiang could immediately feel the difference in the Jiuyang Dao power. Previously, Du Shaoling told Chen Xiang, being 10 times stronger was this, but now, he felt that it wasn't just 10 times stronger, he estimated that it was at least 15 times stronger. As long as I succeed, I can rely on this Jiuyang Dao power to kill a large number of black hairs human. At this time, Chen Xiang was a little excited. He quickly refined it. 2 days later, Chen Xiang, who was bare-chested, emitted a faint white light from where his heart was. He had already mastered the inner workings of the heart, and it was even the 9 suns. His mysterious Tao heart had already turned into the mysterious heart of the 9 suns. It was far more powerful than the previous mysterious heart. It's a success. Chen Xiang secretly channeled his spirit energy and had his 9-yang mind palace transform it. After that, he looked down at his chest and only saw a white light emitting from his heart, and he could clearly feel that his spirit energy had become much stronger after being transformed by the 9-yang heart gem. Of course, this was compared to the profound Tao power that he had angered himself to use before. What he was releasing now was the Jiuyang Dao power. It's done. We can go out and give it a try. Chen Xiang clenched his fists, put on his clothes, and walked out of the secret room. The moment he walked out of the secret chamber, he saw the two spies. Brother Shin, we have something important to discuss with you. This place is not very convenient. Can we talk inside your secret room? One of the tall and skinny men said. Chen Xiang thought for a while, then said, No problem. Just thinking about it with his knees. He knew that these two spies wanted to kill him, and he also had thoughts of taking action against these two spies. C. 2561. C. 2561. Both of them were from the Dao Zong realm, so of course Chen Xiang wasn't their match, but he was confident in defeating him. After he entered the secret room, he anxiously took out a red box, and at this time, he was facing the other two. The two spies were completely unable to see him take out the red box. Moreover, they were also tightly closing the stone door, and at the same time, they were also releasing an array formation. They were worried that there would be a large commotion later. Chen Xiang pinched a small amount of silvery white powder from within the red box, then secretly circulated his energy, releasing the power of creation flame, allowing the flames to leak out from the fingertip that was pinching the silvery white powder. The intense flames burned the silvery white powder. When the silvery white powder found a place to burn, it turned into smoke and drifted into the secret room, producing a faint fragrance. My two friends, what is the important matter? Chen Xiang turned around, smiled lightly, and took a whiff. He could smell a very faint fragrance. This was the poison that Du Shaoling had previously given him, called drunken sky powder. As long as one smelled even a little bit of this, their entire body would be powerless and they would be unable to circulate their energy. Of course, these two spies had also smelled it. Just as they were about to make their move, they felt their bodies go soft, and then both of them collapsed onto the ground. You. What poison is this? A man had to use all his strength to say this. You want to know? I just won't tell you. Chen Xiang grinned and said, You must be spies, right? I came here once before to try and kill me, but I didn't see you. The two men looked at Chen Xiang as they laid on the ground, their hearts filled with extreme terror. At this time, they recalled the fragrance that they smelt just now. They never thought that it would be such a terrifying poison that could knock them down, and what caused them to feel fear was that their divine soul were rapidly declining. If this continued, their divine soul would become extremely weak, and at that time, they would be no different from ordinary people. Chen Xiang chuckled and used soul-absorbing devil spell on them, devouring their energy. At the same time he checked their memories. They are all from the Dao Zong realm. Be careful when you use it on them. Bai Yuyu reminded Yunche. She had been cultivating earlier and had only just awakened. Got it, said. She knew that the devouring magic kung fu was pas. Said on to her by Bai Yuyu, and those two people's cultivation were much stronger than Chen Xiang. Furthermore, Chen Xiang was able to absorb two of them at the same time. These two traitors were now tormented to the point of living a life worse than death, because Chen Xiang devoured their energy, as though he was slowly cutting into their souls. That was the pain that came from the depths of their souls. Chen Xiang was only able to devour the Dao pills and the fleshly body Dao soul of the divine sense CS. Furthermore, he had to release a very strong world creation flame to filter out the energy, which was equivalent to purification. The memories of these two traitors were quickly devoured by Chen Xiang. Previously, he was still worried that the other two palaces had traitors, but now, it seemed like only this palace had them. Devil Wasteland and Black Hairs Human were awakened by Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family, and when the Black Hairs Human evolved into a leader, they contacted the leaders and formed an agreement with them. They didn't know the specifics of the agreement, they only knew a few things. As long as they knew that the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family and the Black Hairs Human were united, the three great native banks would think of a way to deal with the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family. However, Chen Xiang guessed that the three great native banks wouldn't start a war with the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family, because the Black Hare's human was about to break out of the seal very soon, and he would be an ally of the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family. During the process of absorbing, Chen Xiang constantly refined that power, and unknowingly, stepped into the fifth level of the Tao Pa realm. Although he had stepped into the fifth layer, Chen Xiang did not stop, because the other party still had a lot of energy left in his body. The two traitors who had been devoured were in great pain. At this moment they were both crying out in their hearts. In their next lives they would no longer be traitors. Of course, this was on the premise that they still had another life. Just like this, Chen Xiang had devoured for an entire night, and finally, he had devoured enough. Go to ashes. Chen Xiang threw the two traitors into the chuangs. Hi+G D furnace and burn them to ashes. Then, Chen Xiang removed the fragrance from the drunken sky drunken wine and walked out of the secret room. Coming out from the secret room, Chen Xiang felt refreshed. Breaking through 2 stages in a row made him very satisfied, but he could not use this method to devour as much as possible. Chen Xiang arrived at the top of the palace and stood at the very top. He could see the Black Hare's human around the palace. 10,000 arrows piercing the heart. The bowstring trembled, and the white light beam formed by Chen Xiang shot out. The instant it shot out, it exploded into a flash, and under the control of Chen Xiang's consciousness, it transformed into countless white arrows, and pierced through the hearts of the numerous Black Hare's humans in the blink of an eye. Boom! Tens of thousands of Black Hare's humans' heart were pierced through by the arrows condensed by the Zhiyang Dao power at the same time, and they exploded at the same time, shaking the entire ground. Just now, there were many people who saw Chen Xiang run up to the roof. Previously, they knew that Chen Xiang had used a bow and arrow to attack the Black Hare's human from afar, but now that they saw such a large commotion, they immediately knew it was Chen Xiang's doing. The Zhiyang Dao power is indeed powerful, although it is separated into small arrows and contains a lot of Zhiyang Dao power. They can easily penetrate the Black Hare's human's defenses and pierce through the heart. Chen Xiang was secretly pleased when he saw tens of thousands of Black Hare's human exploding. So he pulled the arrow, used the Dao Heart Eye to lock onto Black Hare's human's heart, and released the bowstring. Another loud explosion rang out. More than 10,000 Black Hare's humans exploded as well, turning into dust and smoke. That piece of land was also shattered as a large piece of it caved in. Chen Xiang's 2 arrows did not consume much force, but it produced a huge impact, and the power intimidated the people hiding in the 3 palaces. They knew that Chen Xiang was not simple, they never expected him to be so terrifying. Many of them were cultivators of Dao sect, and when they were fighting with the Black Hare's human outside, they knew that it was not easy to deal with them. But now, Chen Xiang had wiped out a large part of it with just 2 arrows, even cutting Gr's was not as easy as he did. So. Chen Xiang pulled out a few arrows consecutively and killed all of the Black Hare's humans that were surrounding the palace. The cultivation base of a Dao sovereign should appear. Chen Xiang stood at the highest point of the palace and looked around. Suddenly, he felt a weak fluctuation in SPAC and immediately concentrated in that direction. He saw the SPAC there tremble like a wave, and a large group of Black Hare's human appeared. He immediately used the Dao Heart Eye to lock onto Jin Xion's biggest arrow, and then shot it out. Boom! The Black Hare's human produced a very intense explosion, turning the surrounding Black Hare's human into black smoke. Chen Xiang guessed that the one he was targeting was the transmission master. C-2562. C-2562 Chen Xiang's strength had suddenly increased by a lot, causing many disciples to be confused. Previously, when they saw that Chen Xiang was still relatively weak, they could only kill the Black Hare's human one by one. But now they could kill them one by one. It was obvious that their abilities had increased by a lot over the past few days. Chen Xiang stood on top of the palace. As long as a black hare's human came over, he would immediately shoot them. His shooting speed was very fast, and his aiming was very accurate. In just a short moment, he had already shot through several waves. I wonder how long it will take before we can stop. There are so many of these fellows, and their overall strength is very strong as well. If we do not have an effective way to deal with them, then with so many black hares human s running out, the consequences can be imagined. Chen Xiang was already able to meet the Devil Wasteland's barrier. After it was broken, what would it be like for these black hares human s to run to the new 8 wastelands? The surrounding black hares human were all shot and killed by the 9 soaring sky divine Bao, so the leader of the black hares human seemed to have sensed something, because there were no news of the waves that they had sent out. Chen Xiang waited for an hour, but no black hares human came over. It was clear that he knew of the situation here, which meant that he would need to send even more powerful black hares human over. I wonder if there will be a leader or something. Chen Xiang was a little worried. The black hares human leaders were all cultivators. Of course, the defenses of these 3 palaces were also very strong, and even the leaders would be able to hold on for a while. Those 3 manor lords might not be able to protect themselves right now. If there's nothing else, you should go to the sacred wasteland and call for reinforcements. You must not go look for them. Bai Yu said. At this time, she had already understood the dangers of Devil Wasteland, and she definitely could not let Chen Xiang take the risk. Chen Xiang nodded and said, I know, my duty now is to protect these 3 palaces well. After all, these disciples were here to gather experience, and could be considered to be a relatively outstanding group of the 3 great native banks. It was just that because there was a traitor amongst them, they miscalculated. Originally, they had only planned to come here secretly, and it would be safer this way since they were right next to the barrier. However, the traitor had snitched on them, causing the 3 palaces to be surrounded and attacked by a large number of black hares human s. Chen Xiang took out the communication jade symbol paper and sent a message to Fan S. Hi plus Xian. Villa Master Fan, how can I turn these 3 palaces into small rooms? This way, I can bring them out too. My side is already much better now, even Black Hare's human was killed by me. He had only waited a short while before Fan S. Hi plus Xian gave him a reply. If you want to make the palace smaller, you need to know a spell. I can teach you. Fan S. Hi plus Xian then said down 3 incantations to Chen Xiang and asked, How were your black hare's human killed? We'll talk about this later. I'll get the 3 palaces out first. Chen Xiang said before he entered a secret room in the palace. To enter this room, he also needed to chant an incantation. Chen Xiang chanted an incantation and the door opened. Then, he entered and chanted that incantation again. After he teleported out, he saw a small room made of jade. It was a miniature palace. He picked it up and entered a neighboring palace. He came to the palace, notified the disciples inside, and then shrunk the palace. Very quickly, the 3 palaces were turned into small houses by him. He immediately took out his 6 realms mirrors and rode it towards the barrier. Now he was a lot more assured, at least the people in these 3 palaces would not die. However, when he neared the spirit formation, he suddenly felt a very strong spatial fluctuation behind him, then a very terrifying aura came. Leader. Chen Xiang was shocked. He immediately channeled the power of the White Tiger Scar and executed a long-distance White Tiger leap. It was also in just an instant and he had already jumped out of the barrier. But at this moment, he turned around and realized that a very large pit had appeared in the place he was standing just now, and above the hole floated a black hare's human dressed in black armor. His entire body was releasing a powerful and terrifying aura, and the killing intent and death aura that he emitted could actually penetrate the barrier, made Chen Xiang feel a little afraid. That was close. Chen Xiang was panic-stricken. If he was slightly slower, he would have died inside. He's probably not a leader, but his group are similar to Dao sovereigns. They are also a team. Bai Yu said. From within the Yu Yao mountain villa, she could feel the aura coming from the barrier. Chen Xiang had even planned to stroll around the Devil Wasteland, but now that he saw this group of people, he didn't dare go back immediately. Although he knew that these 20-odd black hairs human were unable to pass through the barrier, he was still stared at by more than 20 pairs of eyes and inwardly felt Guseb. MPS all over his body. He rode on the 6 realms mirrors and sped up his teleportation to leave this place. After running for a while, he finally reached the 3 Money Divine City. The 3 Third Masters were currently in the Devil Wasteland. Chen Xiang felt that they were all either trapped or in a difficult situation. Chen Xiang went to the 3 Money Divine City, found an open SPAC, and released the 3 palaces. After that, he told a few elders to go there, those were all elder-type characters, and told them to go to the Sacred Wasteland to contact the 3 great native banks to get stronger people. Otherwise, the 3 manor lords would die there. What's next? Are you still going to the Devil Wasteland? Bai Yu asked. Of course I'm going. If I were by myself, I would definitely be safer, and I don't know when the other strong warriors of the 3 native banks will make their move. I don't want to wait for them, so I'll go in and take a look. Chen Xiang said. Then you must be careful. I feel that the perception of the black hairs human are also very strong. Bai Yu said. Chen Xiang, who was about to take action, suddenly stopped in his tracks. Recalling the black hairs human team that almost killed him, he felt fear in his heart. I'm going to find Sister Bai Ling, Chen Xiang said. Xia Beiling was still there, and he quickly arrived at Du Xiaoling's underground poison palace. He saw Xia Beiling playing with a red spider. Seeing that Chen Xiang had arrived, Xia Beiling immediately threw the palm-sized spider towards him. Chen Xiang was afraid of these furry spiders the most, so he quickly avoided them. Little scoundrel, it's not long now, and you're already at the 6th level of Dao per realm. So fast, did you eat some kind of miracle medicine? Xia Beiling chuckled. Isn't it still eating SHI plus Padan? Chen Xiang said. Sister Bai Ling, can you follow me to Devil Wasteland? I have a friend who was trapped inside. I almost died inside. Hearing Chen Xiang's words, Xia Beiling laughed. Are you afraid now, and do not dare to go in by yourself? Chen Xiang curled his lips then nodded. I'm afraid of death, so I came to find you. Can you come with me now? Just then, Du Xiaoling walked out from the small hut and said, Bai Ling needs to bathe in my medicinal bath every day. She needs to cultivate her impenetrable's physique, so she cannot go. C. 2563. C. 2563 by Ziqian also nodded his head. This cannot be interrupted. If it is interrupted, then I will have to start from the beginning. Those medicinal liquids were all concocted with great difficulty by Master. Chen Xiang sighed helplessly. Seems like I can only go by myself. Du Xiaoling smiled slightly. Bai Ling cannot go, but I can go with you. I can leave the matter of soaking the medicinal liquid to Ziqian. Du Xiaoling was much stronger than him. Upon hearing that, Chen Xiang was pleasantly surprised, and immediately nodded his head. With Du Xiaoling following them, he was not worried about the strong black hairs human team. Little scoundrel, don't bully my master. Bai Ziqian glared at Chen Xiang and snorted. Only she can bully me, how can I bully her? Chen Xiang laughed. She said that she wanted to see the outside world. For the past few years, she stayed here all the time and rarely went out, but now that she had broken free from that shackle, she could finally go out and take a look. Although she was one of the natural law divine spirit, she had never seen this world, and had frequently visited and destroyed it. If Chen Xiang wasn't in a hurry to go to Devil Wasteland, he would have definitely flown there all the way, in order to let her see more of the scenery. But right now, he was in a hurry. Even so, Du Xiaoling was still very happy. When he was near the Devil Wasteland, Du Xiaoling frowned slightly. The atmosphere ahead is really depressing. Is that the Devil Wasteland? Chen Xiang had also told her about the black hairs human before, and she had learnt about it from him. And there are not only many black hairs human inside, but they are also very scary. Once they come out, the new 8 wastelands outside will definitely be annihilated. Chen Xiang sighed. He was already outside the Devil Wasteland. As long as he said through the barrier, he would be able to enter the Devil Wasteland. His current entrance was not the same place as last time. There were many strong black hairs human there. Chen Xiang would try his best to avoid them. He also did not want to see Du Xiaoling fighting and killing. This is a place that should release the poison the most. However, the heavenly Tao is not so certain. Du Xiaoling also felt very helpless. Chen Xiang used the power of the White Tiger Tao mark and penetrated the barrier, once again entering the Devil Wasteland. Elder Sister Xiaoling, I might have to trouble you for what's coming next, Chen Xiang said. The black hairs human in here are extremely powerful. Even if I am to hide, they will find out. Chen Xiang was currently controlling the 6 realms mirrors to release a barrier. This barrier had made them transparent, and also concealed the qi inside the barrier. If not for his strong perception, it would be difficult to detect him. Alright, I understand. Du Xiaoling nodded. Chen Xiang had also used counterpower a bit, allowing the array formation released by the 6 realms mirrors to have a better effect of concealment. Chen Xiang, have you used the poison I gave you before? Du Xiaoling suddenly asked. I've used drunken heaven powder. Chen Xiang laughed. The effect is not bad. With just a little bit, you already knocked out 2 Dao Zone realm people. The drunken heaven powder is rather mild. It's best to use both the heart-devouring bone poison and the heaven's divination poison as much as possible. As Du Xiaoling said this, he took out a red box and smiled. This is heaven's drunken wine. I think this box is easier to use. Let me give it to you for a bit more. Thank you, Elder Sister Xiaoling. Chen Xiang accepted it, and immediately smiled in gratitude. In the past, Chen Xiang had also used this type of unique poison, called Drunk God magical poison, which was refined using Drunk God flower. However, he rarely used it later on, because it was very difficult to increase the poison level in Drunk God flower. But that kind of Drunk God flower, Chen Xiang still retained this. Elder Sister Xiaoling, I used this kind of poison frequently in the past. It was refined using this kind of flower. Chen Xiang took out the beautiful Drunk God flower. Du Xiaoling took it and placed it on his nose to smell it, then laughed. Drunken sky powder is also made with this kind of flower. Chen Xiang was shocked and said, How is that possible? This flower is already very difficult to cultivate. I had previously planted it for a period of time, but I did not make any progress. Not just the Drunk God magical poison, but the other strange poisons were like this as well. Du Xiaoling laughed. That's because you don't know how to grow flowers, and there are 3 growth processes for these flowers. You were at the peak of the first process of growth previously, so you were unable to let the flowers pass that stage, thus there was no progress. Of course, this poisonous flower is different from the medicinal herbs used to forge pills. It is difficult to overcome bottlenecks in cultivation, and I haven't planted many of these flowers in the past few years. Du Xiaoling said. I have the creator's well. This shouldn't be a problem, right? Chen Xiang said. That won't do. I was able to condense the creation God's spring, but it was still very difficult for me to cultivate it. So it's impossible for you to cultivate it in bulk. Du Xiaoling shook his head. If you need it, then come find me. I have it here. As he said that, Du Shaoling took out a very red flower and gave it to Chen Xiang, saying, "This is the heaven-sinking strange flower, the fragrance is extremely strong, there are other people in your divine sense sea world, it's best not to plant them, it'll harm them." Chen Xiang nodded his head. Now, he understood why the box that held the drunken heaven powder was red in color. Recalling the many strange things he had obtained before, a kind of god eclipse powder thing appeared in Chen Xiang's mind. It was something that was refined using the leaf tree juice on top of the broken soul tree and so on. Elder sister Shaoling, have you heard of broken soul tree? Chen Xiang took out a piece of a broken soul tree's branch. I've never heard of it, but I'm very familiar with it. Do you have any leaves? Du Shaoling looked at the branch that Chen Xiang handed to her, and she could smell a faint scent. Chen Xiang took out a few more leaves. So it's the eclipse tree, I didn't expect you to have such a thing. Du Shaoling was a little surprised. But your heaven-eclipsing tree is still too tender. Chen Xiang had not had any special cultivation in a long time, and it was also because he had been careless because he had a lot of things to do. What level of power do you need? Chen Xiang immediately asked. I used to use the things on this tree to refine something called god eclipse powder, it's very powerful. This heaven-eclipsing tree is also a type of poison. I used to have it, but it was planted to the end and destroyed. Du Shaoling said, at the very least, it needs to be planted to attract the attention of the heavenly Tao Doom S. It's not easy to pass. The heavenly Tao Doom S you will know after you have planted it. Chen Xiang nodded, then had Chu Hongqing move the heaven-eclipsing tree from a corner to a place close to the creation divine well to cultivate it. After entering the devil wasteland for a while, Chen Xiang took out a piece of communication jade symbol paper. Chen Xiang, what's the situation over there? Have you moved out of the 3 palaces yet? It's getting more and more dangerous inside, and I don't know why, but the evil wasteland and the evil wasteland are fused together. This was Fan S. Hi plus Xian's voice. C2564. C2564 Chen Xiang immediately sent a message to Fan S. Hi plus Xian, telling him that he had taken out the 3 palaces. He also told the elders inside to inform the experts of Sacred Wasteland, and asked them where to look for the location of the palaces at the same time. Chen Xiang did not immediately receive a reply. The previous message was also from Fan S. Hi plus Xian a while ago, he could only receive it when he was near. This is big trouble, the evil wasteland and the devil wasteland actually merged together. Chen Xiang frowned. How is that possible? To actually combine 2 ancient wastelands, this requires a very powerful strength to do so. It's made by ASP-ACGOD, Du Shaoling said. Only spatial GODs have such power. When the ancient desolation left previously, it was him and the time God that joined hands. Elder sister Shaoling, I heard from the natural law divine spirit that among all the divine spirits, only your power remains. As a result of the heavenly Tao, all the other divine spirits' power has weakened. Is that true? Chen Xiang asked. It's true, but the division of labor for each God is different. I am regarded as having no decline in power, mainly because the poison is still in my hands, and poison is my strongest power. Of course, my own power has not declined, and I don't know the reason why. Du Shaoling said, but from the looks of it, my power is not the only one that has not declined. SPACGOD, Chen Xiang said, what's going on with this guy? Could it be that he doesn't share the same heart as you GODs? Du Shaoling shook his head. No, the spatial divine spirit is a very special existence. I can only see him at every divine spirit gathering. Furthermore, he has been absent a few times, so the time divine spirit is not as mysterious as him. The reason the Devil Wasteland and the Evil Wasteland were fused together was obviously to allow the combined power of the two ancient black hairs humans to break the sun barrier as soon as possible. Is the spatial God helping the black hairs human? It's obvious that he is helping the black hairs human by doing so. Chen Xiang was a little angry. He can't do this kind of thing. Du Xiaoling did not continue, but Chen Xiang understood what she meant. Previously, Du Xiaoling was also unable to control himself, and this SPAC deity was now as well. The heavenly Tao ordered him to do so. Chen Xiang looked at the dark gray sky. It should be said that it was meant to be balanced. After that, the heavenly Tao caused him to do so. The heavenly Tao no longer has any consciousness, it only knows how to balance. This balance is no longer the balance from before. Du Xiaoling said. Right now, there should be someone using this natural balance between the powers of the heavenly Tao to do evil, right? Bai Yu suddenly said. This is already very obvious. When the heavenly Tao was first created, it had already set up a balanced law within the power of the laws, mainly to ensure the harmonious operation of the heavenly Tao. Du Xiaoling nodded his head. Yes, but someone discovered the loophole, so they used this powerful force. No one could resist against this power, and in the end, the entire heavenly Tao was destroyed. Could it be that this was done by the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family? Clearly, all of this was planned. The group of GOD's powers were weak and immediately weakened. Even if they knew of their scheme, it would be useless. Chen Xiang frowned. Chen Xiang controlled the 6 realms mirrors to fly in the middle of the Devil Wasteland, and its speed wasn't very fast either, because he wanted to find Fan S, HI plus XIN and the others. Boom. A shockwave suddenly came over, Chen Xiang's 6 realms mirrors shook intensely, and the invisible array formation covering the 6 realms mirrors also disappeared, meaning that they were now exposed within the Devil Wasteland. It's them. Chen Xiang saw the group of black hairs human that were dressed in black armor. They had a unique and powerful aura. They just arrived. You've been discovered. Du Xiaoling said. She was not anxious at all. With a wave of her hand, she released a crystal-clear powder. Chen Xiang only saw a small amount of powder, but when the powder floated in the air, it actually increased continuously. In a few blinks of an eye, it was like a sandstorm that swept towards the group of black hairs human, instantly enveloping them. Chen Xiang looked at Du Xiaoling. Du Xiaoling was currently very serious, as if he was controlling something. Then, he looked at the large expanse of crystal powder that covered the sky and the earth. What is this thing? It's so amazing! Chen Xiang exclaimed. Evil spirit poison, it has a very strong corrosive poison power. Furthermore, after absorbing the evil spirit energy, it can quickly multiply and increase in power. The Devil Wasteland is filled with a very rich demonic energy. This is a good environment for the evil spirit poison to grow. Du Xiaoling said. And these evil demon and spirit poison were all raised by me using my blood, so no matter how much is produced, it is all under my control. It was Chen Xiang's first time seeing such a strange poison, and his first time knowing someone used poison this way. Du Xiaoling controlled the growing evil spirit poison and attacked the group of black hairs human. Black hairs human's body emitted a black qi upon being touched by the poison, and was completely corroded by it. Although the poisonous smoke that was constantly attacking them could dissipate a lot, once they absorbed the evil demon's power, the poison quickly increased in intensity. Previously, the group of black hairs human that Chen Xiang was afraid of had, in a few moments, been covered by the spirit poison that Du Xiaoling released. The spirit poison was like a white ball of light that emitted a transparent light. It looked extremely beautiful, and even black hairs human who was inside did not know how she was doing. Using the Tao Heart Eye, Chen Xiang was able to see that there were a lot of big Gene Xin inside, but the light emitted by Gene Xin was weakening bit by bit, and was being corroded by the spirit poison. Very quickly, those gene xins had completely disappeared. The sparkling spirit poison also dispersed, and the black hare's human that was previously wrapped up by the spirit poison had already disappeared, but the spirit poison had increased in number. Du Shaoling took out a silver bottle and told Chen Xiang to put away the defensive array before controlling the spirit poison to enter the bottle. Chen Xiang swallowed his saliva in shock. Just now, Du Shaoling had only released a handful of this spirit poison, but now that he had retracted so many, it took him a whole moment to collect all of them. So powerful! Chen Xiang exclaimed. Du Shaoling laughed lightly. This is my more ordinary poison, but it's very beautiful, I like to use it. Chen Xiang shuddered. Previously, this Du Shaoling had always given him a very innocent feeling, but now it seemed that he was naturally darkened. It's best not to let Sister Bai Ling know. This guy will definitely pester you to teach her. Chen Xiang immediately said, Don't call her that. She likes to play so much, she will act recklessly. I know. Where is your friend? I haven't answered you yet. Du Shaoling asked. I forgot to let you live. That way, I might be able to find a way to get their information from the black hare's human. Chen Xiang never thought that Du Shaoling would be able to kill off that group of powerful black hare's humans so quickly, to the point where not even dregs remained. See 2565. See 2565. Seeing how Du Shaoling was able to easily kill off those very powerful black hare's human, Chen Xiang suddenly felt that these black hare's human were not that scary after all. Don't let your guard down, all these black hare's human were the natural law guardians back in the day. There was a mistake later on, but their strengths are still there. It's not a coincidence that they know how to evolve themselves. Du Shaoling said in a serious voice, I think there must be some kind of power behind this power that is supporting these natural law guardians to complete their evolution. Chen Xiang controlled the 6 realms mirrors to continue flying. He only wanted to find Fan S, Hi plus Xin and the rest quickly. Fan S, Hi plus Xin and Chen Xiang's relations. Hi plus P was not bad, and could be considered to be taking care of Chen Xiang. Now that he was in trouble, Chen Xiang would not sit by and do nothing, so he anxiously wanted to save Fan S, Hi plus Xin. Elder sister Xiao Ling, wait a moment. If I meet another one of those strong fellows, can I capture him alive? Chen Xiang said. I feel like they will be here very soon. I want to ask them if they are really my friends. Du Shaoling nodded his head. No problem, at that time I will leave you the strongest. Sure enough, just as Chen Xiang had guessed, after that wave of black hare's human S had been exterminated, another wave quickly appeared. Du Shaoling immediately took action, but this time the poison she released was not the demonic spirit poison from before, but a large group of golden wasps. These bees were not that big and were just like ordinary bees. The only difference was that their outer bodies emitted a golden glow, which didn't seem to be poisonous at all. Elder sister Xiao Ling, is this not a problem? These bees can easily be killed. Chen Xiang was a little worried. After all, this was something raised by Du Shaoling. I won't. Du Shaoling laughed lightly. After the golden hornet swarm flew over, they attacked one of the black hare's human S with a ball of black qi, seemingly carrying a very powerful force. Just as it was about to envelop the golden hornet swarm, the horde suddenly disappeared. He himself was an expert in the use of spatial energy, but just now, he did not feel any spatial energy at all. Go. Where did he go? Chen Xiang looked around carefully and then asked in surprise. It's inside that guy's body. Du Shaoling gave a sweet smile. You'll know once you keep watching. The black hare's human who was attacking the swarm of bees earlier was wearing a set of armor and looked a little strange. He actually turned around and rushed towards one of his comrades, and then he punched his companion. Just now, Chen Xiang had seen very clearly that when that black hare's human punched, the golden light emitted by his fist was the same as that of a swarm of bees. that golden light was extremely corrosive, and anything that the light touched would melt, so that fist could easily pierce through a black hare's human's thick armor and pierce through his body. The other black hare's human felt that something was amiss and started to attack in succession. It was also at this moment that the black hare's human who had killed his comrades suddenly exploded, and as it exploded, a golden light flashed, and a swarm of bees gushed out from the black hare's human's body and burrowed into the bodies of the other black hare's human. All right, they are all under my control now. Du Xiaoling laughed. Chen Xiang had yet to react, but he could guess what it was. Those golden wasps had a special kind of power that allowed them to drill into their bodies and control that person. What the hell is going on? Chen Xiang still didn't understand, especially when the swarm of bees disappeared. It was as if he had teleported. This is the poison heart GODB that I raised. The large group of wasps that you saw are all illusions. The poison heart GODB is actually very small. Du Xiaoling opened her jade palm, only to see a very, very small grain, like an extremely small grain. This will confuse the enemy, and will allow them to attack freely. However, the true poison heart GODB has already drilled into the enemy's heart, and then entered the divine sense C from the enemy's heart, thus controlling the enemy. Su Yun said in a low voice. Du Xiaoling said, "How amazing!" Chen Xiang had already seen how powerful the evil demon poison was, and now that he saw such a novel thing, he couldn't help but praise it. The 6 realms mirrors flew to the side of one of the black hare's human and Chen Xiang asked, "Is there really no problem with that?" Du Xiaoling nodded. These black hare's human had all been invaded by her poison heart GODBs and were already under her control. Chen Xiang then used the soul-absorbing devil spell on one of the black hare's human to search through its memories and quickly found any information related to Fan HI plus XN. Fan HI plus XIN and the rest were trapped in a piece of barren mountain, surrounded by black hare's human, with tens of the more powerful ones among them. As for Fan HI plus XIN and the other 2 Villa Masters, they were not weak either. They could withstand those black hare's human but they wouldn't be able to hold on for long. Now, these dozens of black hare's human were all previously involved in surrounding and attacking Fan HI plus XIN, but they were only sent to chase after him. "I know where it is," Chen Xiang said. "Yes." Du Xiaoling nodded her head. She then waved her jade hand, and all of the black hare's human suddenly released a golden light that shot into the jade case in Du Xiaoling's palm. Du Xiaoling retracted the poison heart divine bee, and the dozen or so black hare's human that had turned into golden fog dissipated. "They should have died. Why don't you control them?" Chen Xiang asked. He had already controlled the 6 realms mirrors and flew to the desolate mountain where Fan HI plus XIN was. The poison heart GODB is also very tired. If we keep controlling it like this, it will cause great harm to it and it won't last for too long," Du Xiaoling said. Chen Xiang teleported a few times and he saw a barren mountain. There were thick, pitch-black clouds shrouding the entire mountain and purple lightning bolts were produced unceasingly, causing the desolate mountain to be shrouded in an extremely scary atmosphere. Boom! 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 A tremor suddenly came out from the desolate mountain. It was as though an intense battle had broken out. When Chen Xiang heard the noise, he immediately teleported over. Just as they walked over, they saw Fan HI plus XIN with his hair in disarray, holding a jade HI plus Ning sword in his hand, fighting against the 3 black hare's human Fan HI plus XIN's strength was very strong, and he could easily handle 3 of these black hare's human while the other 2 Villa Masters were also like this. Currently, the 3 Villa Masters were fighting with the 9 black hare's human There are a lot of black hairs human-s here, looks like this is an experiential learning field. Du Xiaoling looked around at his surroundings and said softly, "Hurry and bring them away." Chen Xiang nodded his head and then secretly sent a sound transmission to Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the others, telling them to cooperate with him later. At first, Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the others were worried, because Chen Xiang's cultivation was low, it was very dangerous for them to be here. However, they suddenly sensed a very powerful qi, and it was coming from Chen Xiang's direction. C2566. C2566 Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the others immediately rushed over to Chen Xiang's side, while Chen Xiang also controlled the 6 realms mirrors to teleport there. Under their tacit understanding, Chen Xiang instantly allowed them to enter the 6 realms mirrors. "Where are the other disciples?" Chen Xiang immediately asked, and at the same time teleported away. "They're all inside our storage magic treasure." Fan S. Hi plus Xin said, "All of these black hairs human-s possess a very strong spatial energy. You must be careful." Of course Chen Xiang knew, he had been chased before, and the moment he teleported away, black hairs human had caught up, and there were a lot of them. Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the other 2 villa masters all saw Du Xiaoling. They were also clear that the powerful aura was coming from his body, but they did not ask about his ident. 1. Tai and only smiled at him in a friendly manner. Du Xiaoling smiled back at them in return. "Originally, we planned to train here, but did not expect that we would become targets to train. In these past few days, we have fought with many of their black hairs human-s, and they have completely treated us as targets to train with." Fan S. Hi plus Xin laughed bitterly. "If it wasn't for them thinking that we are still of some value, they would have already ruthlessly attacked us. If it really comes to that, maybe we would have perished together with them." Pan Yuan sighed, "Chen Xiang, you're still the best. Not only did you manage to escape with the 3 palaces, you can even save us." Regarding this, Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the others admired Chen Xiang from the bottom of their heart. "I've already sent a message to Villa Owner Fan, and a traitor has appeared among your disciples." Chen Xiang said, "These 2 traitors were sent by the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family. I also learned from them that the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family and the Black Hairs human have allied themselves, and that the fact that the Black Hairs human can awaken and evolve is probably all the doing of the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family." Fan S. Hi plus Xin frowned. "The moment we left the palace we were followed, and when we left far away they started to attack us, trapping us inside that barren mountain. At that time we felt like we were being ambushed. I never thought that there would be a traitor within us. This is not something the 3 of us can handle now, we can only return quickly and inform the great landlord. We'll have to leave this to them." Chen Xiang said a little embarrassed. Saidly, "I killed those 2 spies and they wanted to kill me secretly. The first time I tried to hide, I also planned to let you guys handle it, but after they failed, I didn't expect that it would happen a second time, and then I would finish them off. It's fine, let's go back and explain everything to great landlord." Fan S. Hi plus Xin laughed. Chen Xiang had helped them greatly this time, if not they might all die, which was not a small loss for the 3 native bank. Although the black hairs human continued to chase them from behind, Chen Xiang was not afraid of them. His speed was also much faster than the black hairs humans, and in a short while, he arrived at the edge of the Devil Wasteland. This time, although Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the others encountered a large setback when they entered, their gains were not small, which allowed them to have a better understanding of the power within the Devil Wasteland. But at this time, the Devil Wasteland and the Devil Wasteland had already merged. Right now, all they could do was to let the big cities strengthen their defenses, just like the cities in the Profound Wasteland. After leaving the Devil Wasteland, the 3 manor masters headed towards the sacred wasteland, while Chen Xiang took Du Shaoling to the beast wasteland. The atmosphere in the beast wasteland, on the other hand, was very different. The beasts here seemed to be very peaceful, as if they didn't know that the Black Hare's human was about to rush out. Returning to Du Shaoling's underground poison palace, Chen Xiang heaved a sigh of relief. He had finally rescued Fan S. Hi plus Xin and the others. How is it? Is Devil Wasteland fun? Xia Beiling ran over and asked anxiously. Not fun, it's hidden inside. Du Shaoling laughed, then patted Xia Beiling's face. Your impenetrable has improved quite well. Of course. I will definitely do what I need to do seriously. Xia Beiling said proudly. Elder sister Shaoling, do the beasts in this beast wasteland know about the affairs of the Black Hare's human? Chen Xiang asked. The beasts at the top of the mountain all feel quite friendly. Do you want to inform them and have them be on their guard? Don't worry about them. They are very powerful. Du Shaoling laughed. I've told you before, I'm here to avoid harming many people. If my poison makes any mistakes here, the beasts above will sense it ahead of time and can quickly avoid it. The perception of beasts is much stronger than humans. If there was any disaster, then the beasts would know a lot earlier than humans. Furthermore, it was a very powerful beast. Du Shaoling continued to stay and guide by Ziqian and her, while Chen Xiang went to Heavenly Dragon City. The defenses of Heavenly Dragon City and Hundreds of Flowers Village could be said to be extremely strong. Inside Hundreds of Flowers Village, Xue Xianxian and the others were extremely proficient in all kinds of big formation enchantments, and after receiving Long Jiuxiao's guidance, their advancement had become even more powerful. Long Jiuxiao could only mock himself for not having anything to teach them. Long Jiuxiao was from the Heavenly Divine Lord's previous life and was already a powerful being. Now he was also a Dao sovereign, and in this era, he could lead a large group of dragons. Just as Chen Xiang was talking about the matters inside the Devil Wasteland with Long Jiuxiao, Long Shuangru and Xie Qiaoyan walked in. Chen Xiang, you are here too. I thought you were in Devil Wasteland. Xie Qiaoyan said. Dad, Qiao Qiao is here to get the medicinal materials. Long Shuangru said. The place in Heavenly Dragon City is big, and the herbs it cultivates are more than the one in Hundreds of Flowers Village. Currently, many medicinal fields are growing medicinal herbs used to refine Profound Dao King Dan. Currently, Profound Dao King Dan are also in urgent need. Long Jiuxiao said, because cultivating the heart of the Profound Way was an urgent matter, it could effectively kill the Black Hare's human. Long Shuangru brought Xie Qiaoyan to get the medicinal ingredients, and Chen Xiang then told Long Jiuxiao about the 9-yang divine Dao heart, as well as showing the fruits of his cultivation. Seems like Chen Xiang you have a method to cultivate the mind souls faster. Long Jiuxiao laughed. Do you think that when the Black Hare's human attacks us, even we old fellows will be able to cultivate our mind? At least 2 pills for each of you. Of course, I will first let you cultivate them. Chen Xiang said. Long Jiuxiao was a Dao sovereign, and a powerful dragon at that, allowing him to cultivate his mental strength. When he used the Jiuyang Dao power, his killing power would increase even more. Alright, I'll wait for your pill. Long Jiuxiao said. After we take care of Black Hare's human, we can go deal with him. At that time, we will know their real purpose. These guys are very sinister. C. 2567. C. 2567 to Chen Xiang. Refining pills quickly was not difficult at all, so he had already made preparations to challenge the limit. He followed Xie Qiaoyan and Long Shuangru back to the Hundreds of Flowers village. The mysterious 9-yang Emperor pill is actually an Emperor stage middle-grade pill. To refine so many of them in such a short period of time, this is a test for us. Wu Qianqian chuckled. It seems like it's been a long time since we've worked together to refine pills. Chen Xiang said with a wry smile. It's even a test for me. It requires a lot of Emperor Profound pills, and it also requires Shui Xianxian and the others to refine. When they are setting up the formation, either they add Jiuyang Dao power or they join in when they are refining. It has a very good effect on the Black Hare's human. Then it will be the War God squad. Sister Qilian and the other big sisters will have to take them as well. Then the Heavenly Dragon City will have to have many powerful warriors. Su Meiyao laughed. You will definitely hurry up and finish it. How about this, when we refine either SHI plus Padan or Profound Dao King Dan, we will hand the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core over to you. You little scoundrel, at critical moments, can always create miracles. His words were not bad, so Chen Xiang decided to go all out. All of you temporarily stop refining Profound Dao King Dan, and go refine the Emperor Profound Core. Chen Xiang replied, I'm worried that I won't be able to handle it myself when the time comes. It doesn't matter. We're going to refine the mysterious 9 Yang Emperor pill sooner or later anyway. Right, these are all Emperor-level medicinal herbs. Do you have that many? Feng Yujie asked. Of course not, so I need your help. Give me all of your purple pearls. With the help of your purple pearls, this will certainly be a lot quicker. Chen Xiang took out more than 10 Profound Fruit S and a few Jiuyang earthly fruit. Each of you take one of them a little seriously. All of the women in the pill refining team knew about heavenly alchemy, so when Chen Xiang explained how to refine the Emperor Profound Core, they could all understand. Then, Feng Yujie left and started collecting purple pearls from all over hundreds of flowers village. When she came back, she had given Chen Xiang an enormous amount of purple pearls, and there were actually more than 10,000 of them. This made Chen Xiang extremely shocked. For now, there are so many of them. Currently, the sisters in our hundreds of flowers village can probably produce around 1,000 pills per day. Feng Yujie said. Enough. Chen Xiang had long since found LV Qilian and Pa said down the alive slain method to many outstanding female disciples, and taught them to cultivate their life-killing divine deity so that they could condense purple pearls. Only then would they be able to quickly obtain a large amount of medicinal ingredients so that the refining team could refine them. Give me all of your Profound Dao King Dan's medicine. There are even SHI plus Padan S. Chen Xiang laughed. I'll show you what it means to use all your firepower. 3,000 portions of Profound Dao King Dan's medicinal ingredients and 5,000 portions of SHI plus Padan. Are you sure you want to finish refining them all by yourself? Hua Xiangyue smiled charmingly. Don't be so tired. Duyenyao said, I still have some here. Do you want some too? These girls already had some medicinal ingredients in their hands, and that was their mission in pill refining. Then, Ji Linger, Hong Xia, and Wu Qianqian took out some medicinal ingredients and gave them to Chen Xiang. Xie Xiaoyan then handed over what he had taken from Long Jiuxiao to him. There really are quite a few. Chen Xiang looked at those medicinal herbs. Adding all of their ingredients together, there were more than 4,000 Profound Dao King Dan S, and even more than 6,000. Hua Xiangyue kissed Chen Xiang's cheek and said smilingly, My master, don't be so exhausted. D.A.M. Naval Demon. Chen Xiang grabbed her chest, then hurriedly left the small villa, so as to not be distracted by the 2 spirit demon beings, Su Meiyao and Hua Xiangyue. Sister Qilian, arrange a place for me to refine pills quietly. Yeah, the bigger ones would be better. When Chen Xiang came to LV Qilian's place, she saw that LV Qilian was currently training with the Heart of Profound Spirit Qi and knew that it was an urgent matter. Oh, how big is this place? LV Qilian asked. It would be best if it was a lobby. Someone who can store hundreds of pill furnaces. Chen Xiang said. LV Qilian thought for a moment, then said, I'll bring you over to Huishan's place. All right. Chen Xiang also didn't understand why LV Qilian wanted to arrange for him to go to Long Huishan's side, but he agreed anyway as he hadn't seen Long Huishan for a period of time. Long Huishan also really liked fighting, so she was part of the Ward OD team. However, during this period of time the Ward OD team had all returned, so it was best for them to make their final preparations. Bai Yu had also returned to the party now. She had improved a lot within the Yu Yao mountain villa. After all, she had the pills Chu Hongqing had given her inside. It's a little cold, I don't know if it will affect you or not. LV Qilian brought Chen Xiang to the belly of a mountain and the cold aura immediately pounced on him, causing him to SHI plus ver. The belly of the mountain was extremely SPA-sious, it was much more SPA-sious than what Chen Xiang had requested. Standing tens of thousands of people was not a problem. Big Sister Huishan's place is really big. Chen Xiang asked, why does she want such a big place? When he finished speaking, a burst of cold air fell from above. Chen Xiang raised his head and saw a gigantic ice dragon claw slapping towards him. Now, he knew why Long Huishan's place was so big. Sister Huishan, aren't you a draconian? How did you become an ice dragon? Chen Xiang asked in surprise. That ice dragon is my second divine sensei, Long Huishan said as she walked in from behind Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang never thought that the ice dragon he saw was actually something inside Long Huishan's second divine sensei, just like the heavenly beast inside his second divine sensei. Not bad, your ice dragon is getting stronger and stronger, LV Qilian said. It's still to be strengthened, but it's already Serpa said by Ancestor Ice Dragon. Long Huishan laughed, and the huge ice dragon suddenly turned into a white light and entered Long Huishan's body. Little scoundrel, what did you come find me for? Long Huishan asked. It's important. If I want to refine pills, I need a slightly bigger and quieter place, so Sister Qilian brought me here. Chen Xiang said. Then refine it here with me. Can I also cultivate inside? Relax, I won't obstruct you. What's next is just to cultivate my heart of the profound. I won't release the icy cold power. Long Huishan said. Of course, there's no problem. But I'm worried that I will obstruct you. The commotion caused by my pill refining might be very big. Chen Xiang laughed. I'm fine. Long Huishan looked at LV Qilian and laughed. Qilian, you can stay here to cultivate as well, it just so happens that we can exchange pointers. LV Qilian laughed. I'm worried that it will distract Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang curled his lips. You two are not Xiangyuan's sister Meiyao, what's there to be distracted about? Of course, Chen Xiang now felt that Bai Yu was the scariest one. The kind of temptation to create something from nothing was the most terrifying thing. He had already experienced it before. As expected, LV Qilian had moved here to cultivate. Chen Xiang felt that it would be good if he had them by his side, because it would be more boring if he were to continue concocting pills, so it would help to relieve his boredom. Looking at such a large area, Chen Xiang estimated the number of pill furnaces he could place. He had already used the Dewan refining method many times, but he had never refined a true 10,000 before. To him, this was definitely a huge challenge. C 2568. C 2568. The SHI plus Padan that Chen Xiang wanted to refine were both high-grade king-level pellet. If it was in the past, this would be a challenge to him, but now it was extremely easy for him to refine one. After all, he was already able to refine mid-grade Emperor stage pills, and those were even more difficult. Chen Xiang, do you really need to use the Dewan refining method in such a big place? How many batches do you plan to refine? LV Qilian suddenly guessed something. She had seen the Dewan refining method that Chen Xiang used. The speed at which he refined pills could be said to be terrifying. I'm not sure yet, but I'm guessing it might take some time. Chen Xiang was currently calculating. He was very clear about his own strength, and at the same time, was also clear about the consumption rate needed to refine SHI plus Padan. Therefore, he needed a rough estimate. Right now, he didn't have absolute confidence that he could concoct 10,000 pills at the same time. Moreover, there were two different methods. Seeing how serious Chen Xiang was, both LV Qilian and Long Huishan did not disturb him and continued to train in the heart of the profound way. Chen Xiang pondered for an entire 2 hours before letting out a long sigh. "What's wrong?" Hearing his sigh, LV Qilian opened his eyes and asked, "My cultivation is still not enough. I feel like I'm still a bit off." Chen Xiang said, "Seems like I need to train until Dao Per Realm level 10 first." Now that he was at the 6th level of the Dao Soul Realm, he was not far off from it. It was just that he did not have that many SHI plus Padan on him right now. If you want to level up to the 6th level of Dao Per Realm, there must be a lot of SHI plus Padan, at least 500 of them. At the moment, we don't have that many. LV Qilian said. She had a better understanding of the pill's situation. Chen Xiang nodded his head. "There are indeed a lot of SHI plus Padan that we need, but there is one way that we can do it even without using too many SHI plus Padan." "What method?" Long Huishan suddenly asked. "We are currently only at the 3rd level of Dao Per Realm. We also want to quickly reach the 10th level and step into the Dao Profound Realm. So our current cultivation is considered very weak compared to this new 8 wastelands." Chen Xiang took out the Jutian Danding and chuckled. "Of course it's to refine a high-quality pill. Not only can it be completed in a short period of time, the resulting pill will also have an extremely good effect." It had been a long time since Chen Xiang had used sublimation refining method and crash method to refine a high-quality pellet. If it wasn't for a special need, he really didn't want to do that. That would be a huge burden on his spirit. Of course, this was a special time. Even if he didn't want to refine it, he had to force himself to do so. Chen Xiang had a lot of SHI plus Padan's ingredients on him, and he had already begun to refine high-quality SHI plus Padan, and at the same time, used his peak strength to do so. 4 hours later, when Chen Xiang opened the pill furnace, a burst of golden light shone out explosively. Chen Xiang took out a golden pellet from the furnace. The golden light emitted by the pellet gave off a feeling of suppression. Just a single pill was enough to make people feel fear. This caused LV Qilian and Long Huishan to be extremely surprised. They had previously consumed this extremely high-quality pill refined for them by Xie Xiaoyan several times. However, compared to Chen Xiang's current SHI plus Padan, what Xie Xiaoyan had refined was just too weak. It is just an ordinary medicinal herb, but it has such a huge transformation in your hands. Long Huishan exclaimed. "Is this the difference between alchemist and himself?" Chen Xiang laughed. "Don't just look at how I've refined it for 4 hours. Those 4 hours of experience is equivalent to several years of experience for me." Chen Xiang used 3 crashes, the sublimation refining method, and the Jutian Danding. Eating the SHI plus Padan, Chen Xiang's face changed. This was the first time he felt such a high-quality pill give him such a shock. The sudden outburst of medicinal power was so strong, it was almost as if it was going to destroy his entire body. If it was an ordinary person, they would not be able to suppress the powerful medicinal power. Chen Xiang was able to easily handle the medicinal power of the pill, and easily circulate and refine it using the heavenly alchemy, which allowed him to easily suppress it. He had already unknowingly entered a state of cultivation. LV Qilian and Long Huishan were paying attention to the change in Chen Xiang's aura at this moment and were constantly increasing in intensity, which showed that the super high-quality SHI plus Padan was having a very good effect. "You can break through with just 1 pill?" Long Huishan was extremely curious. If that's really the case, Then he should be able to reach the 10th level of the Dao realm within a few days. That should be it. This guy is becoming more and more terrifying. LV Qilian nodded. Chen Xiang cultivated all the way until midnight. At this time, he had already quickly finished refining the medicinal power, and had broken through from the 6th level of the Dao realm to the 7th. If he could continue at this speed, it would not be difficult for him to step into the Dao profound realm, and he wanted to step into it before the black hair's human breaks through the barrier. After raising his cultivation by 1 realm, Chen Xiang was also extremely energetic as he continued to refine high-quality Hi plus Padan S. As my cultivation level increases, the quality of the pills I concoct will also increase by a lot. Chen Xiang thought, because when he was refining it, he also needed to use up his own Dao power. Especially when using crash method and sublimation refining method, the more powerful his Dao energy was, the better it would be. Had been trying to figure it out for many years. In this regard, he felt that even those old alchemists could not compare to him, especially so for his crash method. The crash method should have had a breakthrough. Chen Xiang had already completed the 3 crash, so he felt that he could try the 4 crash. He had previously imagined that there was no limit to the quality of the pills. From the first few dozen to hundreds to tens of thousands, this was how he slowly broke through. And in his theory, there was no limit to crash method. As long as he controlled it well, he would be able to carry out multiple collisions and continuously improve the quality of the refined medicinal herbs. 4 crash! Chen Xiang roared in his heart, and the medicinal powers of the condensed crystals he separated fiercely collided with each other. Boom! The Jutian Dan Ding erupted with a violent vibration, causing the entire mountain to shake non-stop. Even though Chen Xiang used his spatial energy to block the energy, it still pierced through the mountain. Are you all right? LV Qilian asked anxiously. Long Huishan also stopped his cultivation and walked over, only to see Chen Xiang with his eyes closed, looking solemn. Chen Xiang was almost unable to control himself just now. Although it would not explode, but the force would definitely burst out from the lid of the furnace. C-2569. C-2569 LV Qilian pulled Long Huishan, allowing her to watch by the side. She also knew that Long Huishan was worried that something might happen to Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang was currently focused on refining pills. His entire mind was focused on the pill furnace, as though he was immersed in a state of immersion, so he did not hear Long Huishan's voice, nor did he feel the impact of the explosion. Refining this furnace of 4 crash S was extremely difficult, and was even harder than the Emperor stage middle rank Hi plus Padan that Chen Xiang had refined before. However, if it was refined, the quality of the Hi plus Padan would definitely be very shocking. When he was refining the pellet to the limit, Chen Xiang was also very eager for speed, so right now he was using up a lot of energy every second in order to finish it within the expected amount of time. Even though he wasn't competing in pill refining, he still had high requirements for himself. This was because only then would he be forced to break through his limits and Serpa SS himself. 8 hours. Chen Xiang spent 8 hours before finally completing a cauldron of Hi plus Padan S that had gone through 4 stages of crash. Although there was only one, the quality of this Hi plus Padan was extremely high. He should have condensed a Dan. When Chen Xiang opened the pill furnace, he could feel that the quality of the pills that could make it was high to a certain extent. This pill is even stronger than the previous one, Long Huishan said, staring at the Hi plus Padan in Chen Xiang's hand. It seemed to be an illusion. This pill is more powerful than I imagined. This pill can form its own Dao soul. Chen Xiang exclaimed, I never thought a pill could have this kind of effect. A pill with a Dao soul. When LV Qilian and Long Huishan heard this, both of them felt that it was unbelievable. Although they did not refine pills, they still understood a little about pills, but they had never heard of something like this before. Pills can be cultivated just like humans. Chen Xiang laughed. Don't be surprised if one day I am able to refine a pill into an adult. No matter how surprised you are, it won't be too late. After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he ate the pellet. He felt that the quality of the pellet was more than 2 times that of the previous one, so after eating it, he immediately went to control the medicinal strength to prevent himself from losing control. He had refined it for more than a day, and there was still a very strong medicinal power which he had yet to finish refining, yet Chen Xiang had broken through from the 7th level of the Tao Per realm to the 8th level. This kind of breakthrough speed, even Chen Xiang felt that it was unbelievable. He realized that after being refined by crash method, the medicinal power would be different, and it would be even stronger than what was normally produced. Chen Xiang had refined the last of the medicinal power, and it had taken him an entire day, but this had allowed him to directly break through to the 9th level of the Tao Per realm. The 9th level of the Tao Soul realm. Chen Xiang took a deep breath. Just a single pill was enough to make him level up 2 levels consecutively. Others would only be able to break through in tens or even hundreds of years. The pills you concoct seem to be even more powerful than Emperor stage pills. Is that still A.S.H.I. plus Padan? Long Huishan asked. It's A.S.H.I. plus Padan, but it's not a high king stage one. From the quality, it should be a high Emperor stage one. Chen Xiang said. I just need to eat one more pill, and I will be able to step into the 10th layer of the Tao Soul. As long as he entered the 10th stage of the Tao Per realm, Chen Xiang would have sufficient strength to refine 10,000 batches in one go. Currently, within his Yu Yao mountain villa, the Jiang earthly fruit were still in the process of being planted, and it would take a lot of time for it to grow. Chen Xiang had the experience from last time, and the S.H.I. plus Padan he was refining the 4 crash now was much more stable as well. Although it would still cause quite a bit of commotion, it was not as terrifying as last time. It was just that the time it took to refine the pill had not been shortened. Completing the pill refinement in 4 hours was already the limit of Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang then ate another S.H.I. plus Padan refined with the 4 great crash S. This was a superior grade Emperor stage pellet, otherwise, it would not have such a strong medicinal power that allowed him to level up so quickly. To Chen Xiang, all of this was not much, because there were still a lot of other aspects that needed to be broken through in the future. Tao Per realm is at the 10th level. In just a few days, Chen Xiang had consecutively increased his strength by several levels, and his cultivation had also increased by a lot. Of course, compared to the Tao sect experts, he was still very weak, let alone someone with a respectful cultivation. So fast. Long Huishan said as she pouted her lips. She had trained so hard, and not a single stage had been broken through, yet she could only watch as Chen Xiang broke through in succession. This was all because Chen Xiang had managed to concoct such a powerful pill. Sister Huishan, don't be in such a hurry. When I finish my work, I'll refine those pills for all of you to eat. Chen Xiang laughed. Anyways, I need to practice this method more because I will need to use it frequently in the future. I need to get used to this method. Only when he was used to it would he not feel hard working. Thus Chen Xiang decided to use the crash method to continuously break through the limits and refine higher quality pills. This S.P.A. Saya stone room was filled with magic method furnace. Each of the magic method furnace were filled with medicinal herbs and burned with raging flames. The 10,000 magic method furnace were all refining pills at the same time, and this was all controlled by one person. LV Qilian and Long Huishan were all dumbstruck when they saw this. At the same time concocting the myriad furnace pill, if they did not personally witness it, they would not have believed this to be true. Previously, Long Jiuxiao had always praised the refining team in the Hundreds of Flowers village as extremely strong, much stronger than the 3 native banks refining team. But now, with just Chun Xiang, who knows how many small pill refining teams he would have to take. If Chun Xiang could successfully refine these 10,000 batches of pills, it would be equivalent to Feng Yujie and the others refining for months. Chun Xiang had already calculated before that in order to do all this, he would need sufficient Tao energy to support it. Other than that, he would also need an extremely strong consciousness to do all of this, and only someone who had reached the 10th level of the Tao per realm would be able to do so. He had known the Dewan refining method for many years, but this was the first time he had undergone a true 10,000 refinement. This kind of feeling made him feel a sense of accomplishment, and was also the feeling he pursued when he was refining pills. At this time, Long Huishan and LV Qilian did not have the mind to refine pills anymore. They were all seriously looking at the magic method furnace inside. To be able to witness such a shocking refining scene was extremely rare for them, and it was Chun Xiang who was doing it too. LV Qilian was also very proud in his heart. After all, the powerful alchemist was her man. In these 3 days, all the herbs in the magic method furnace had turned into glittering pellet. 10,000 magic method furnace, there were only a few pellets in each furnace. Right now, these tens of thousands of pellets were floating in the stone room like a resplendent sea of stars, extremely beautiful. Completed. Chun Xiang laughed and then took out 2 large jade bottles, and put in the profound Tao King Dan and the S.H.I. plus Padan respectively. After he was done, he gave the bottle to LV Qilian and smiled. "Sister Qilian, give it to me." C2570. C2570 LV Qilian took the 2 bottles and then left the stone room. At the same time, she would distribute the pills to everyone so that they could raise their strength. Chun Xiang still had a lot of S.H.I. plus Padan's ingredients on hand, and he was going to refine the 4 crashes S.H.I. plus Padan next. This was what he had promised Long Huishan and LV Qilian before. "Sister Huishan, cultivate first. I'll wake you up after I finish refining." Chun Xiang laughed. "The medicinal power of that pill is very strong. I wonder if you can suppress it." "Little scoundrel, don't underestimate me." Long Huishan laughed. "Big sister, I'm a draconian after all, I'm still very strong." Chun Xiang spent the rest of his time concocting pills. This was mainly because he wanted LV Qilian and the others to level up to the 10th level of the Tao per realm, and also because his Yu Yao mountain villa was growing Profound Fruit S and Jiang Earthly Fruit S. Those girls all knew about heavenly alchemy and could refine the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core. After they found out that Chun Xiang had used the crash method to refine A.S.H.I. plus Padan, they were surprised and also decided to give it a try to see if it was possible. A few days before the barrier of the Devil Wasteland was about to be broken, Fan S.H.I. plus Xin had personally come to the Heavenly Dragon City to find Chun Xiang. During this period of time in Hundreds of Flowers village, Chun Xiang had refined quite a few S.H.I. plus Padan, all of them of the super high quality. When Chun Xiang came to the Eternal Life Native Bank, it was as if he had something urgent. "Manor Lord Fan, did something big happen?" Chun Xiang asked anxiously. "That's not it, the Devil Wasteland's enchantment barrier will be broken soon, and that's something everyone knows. Everyone is fully prepared for it during this period of time, so when the time comes, our losses won't be too big. We just need a little time, and we will be able to destroy the Black Hare's humans sooner or later." Fan S.H.I. plus Xin said, "The reason why I came to find you this time was mainly because Great Landlord wanted to meet you." Great Landlord? Chun Xiang was shocked. That was the strongest person in the Eternal Life Native Bank. "Yes, but he can't leave the Sacred Wasteland, so you have to go by yourself. I can bring you there." Fan S.H.I. plus Xin said. All right. Chen Xiang was also very interested in that great landlord. The three great landlordess of the three great native banks were all very scary people. However, he seemed to know something now, that these great landlordess were actually unable to leave the sacred wasteland. Not only the great landlord and the rest are unable to leave the sacred wasteland, the patriarchs of the other heaven wasteland aristocratic family are also restricted by the restriction of the heavenly energy. Fan S.H.I. plus Xian said as he brought Chen Xiang to the teleportation room inside the native bank. In the blink of an eye, Chen Xiang and Fan S.H.I. plus Xian arrived at the biggest eternal life native bank. Great landlord is right below us. Fan S.H.I. plus Xian laughed. Although this native bank is very high, but he likes to stay deep underground. Fan S.H.I. plus Xian pointed to a room. If you go in, then go see great landlord yourself, and I won't go with you. Rest assured, our great landlord is doing very well. There was a transmission array here. After he entered the transmission array and activated the array formation, he was teleported to another place. However, this place was filled with heat, and Chen Xiang felt that this might be the center of the earth. Chen Xiang was sent to another room, and he was also in the teleportation room. After he walked out, he saw a lavishly decorated hall, and on top of the hall sat a luxuriously dressed elderly man. Looking at the old man, Chen Xiang was startled. The old man gave him a familiar feeling, especially the outline of his face. He felt like he had seen him somewhere before. Do you think I'm familiar? The old man chuckled. I think it's a guy called Natural Law Divine Spirit. He looks very similar to you. Chen Xiang was sure that this old man in front of him was very similar to that stupid Natural Law Divine Spirit. It was just that the old man in front of him had a very good temperament, something that Natural Law Divine Spirit couldn't compare to. There's nothing we can do about it. Natural Law Divine Spirit and I were both born from the heavenly Tao, so we are a little similar. The old man laughed. I am the great landlord of the three great native banks. I have been paying attention to you for a long time. I never thought that so many things would enter your body that were hidden. Great landlordess of the three great native banks? Chen Xiang was a little surprised. Didn't the three great native banks have three? There's only one. I created all three native banks. The great landlord laughed. The reason we have three native banks is also to deceive people. There were many tables and chairs in the hall. Chen Xiang casually found one and sat down. Great landlord, what are you looking for me for? Chen Xiang asked. There's nothing much I need to talk to you about. I feel that you are of very special existence. According to natural law principles, you should have been done in, but you are still alive and well, so I felt that it was very strange. For example, allowing two generations to fuse together is definitely not something your strength can accomplish. The great landlord said. Chen Xiang only smiled. When he thought about it, he also felt that it was true. Others may not know about it, but I am very clear that the method you use to refine pills should be the heavenly alchemy. Great landlord's words surprised Chen Xiang. He did not want this kind of secret to be known by these big shot. You don't have to worry. Although the heavenly alchemy is one of the four great taboo magic it can be said down. This was originally planned, but I didn't expect that these four were all in your hands. Great landlord laughed out loud. Especially that heavenly alchemy, when you use it in alchemy, it has an even more astonies. Hi plus ing and miraculous effect. Great landlord, who exactly created the heavenly alchemy? This technique is very powerful. I only now do have a very profound feeling of how powerful it is. Moreover, there are still many powerful techniques that I have yet to unearth. Chen Xiang said. He felt that this great landlord must know a lot. He had seen the Sword Hall elder before, and that elder said that this was something said down in the divine wasteland. I don't know about the other three taboo magic but I do know about the heavenly alchemy. It was created by the heavenly Tao Lord. The great landlord said. Great landlord, why is the flow of the heavenly Tao so chaotic right now? Why do I feel like something has gone wrong? Chen Xiang asked again. He finally knew who created the heavenly alchemy, and it was more or less what he had guessed. Actually, the world we are currently in is a living being's divine sense world. The great landlord suddenly became serious. This creature is very powerful and was born with such a real world very early on. Initially, he managed this world well, but later he allowed it to develop freely. However, before this, he set up the rules for the heaven's law. Later on, this creature didn't interfere with anything in this world. As for why, I don't know either. I tried to contact him many times, but none of my attempts resulted in a response. Back when he was creating me, I often communicated with him. I never thought that we would actually be in someone else's divine sense world. Qin Xiang sighed. That's right, if we have enough strength, we can jump out. When the time comes, we can go to the so-called divine wasteland, and the master of this natural law world is also there. Great landlord said. It's just that it's very difficult, and I'm guessing that Master Tian might have met with some troubles over there, so he didn't have the time to think about the development of this place. C 2571. C 2571, the matter of going to the divine wasteland was too distant for Chen Xiang. Currently, the most pressing matter was how to deal with the black hairs human. He did not want the new 8 wastelands to become a mess with them. After all, he still had to live in the new 8 wasteland. Although the environment of the sacred wasteland was not bad, but with the heaven wasteland aristocratic family playing tricks here, it was impossible to live a peaceful life here. Maybe after the black hairs human was released, the flames of war would burn the entire sacred wasteland. Great landlord, I heard that you can't leave the sacred wasteland. Why is that? Chen Xiang asked. This is the restriction of the heavenly Tao. The patriarchs of the heaven wasteland aristocratic family are also bred by the heavenly Tao, but they are able to reproduce and their descendants all possess great talent. The great landlord said, the heavenly energy has sealed us in the sacred wasteland. This is also to prevent us from going out to cause trouble. But now Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family is using this point to cause chaos outside. Furthermore, Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family has been developing in secret for so many years. His strength is much stronger than I had expected. Great landlord said, even though my 3 great native banks have a broad range of power, they don't have enough concentrated power. Their deterrence power is only directed at those small forces. So Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family isn't afraid of me. Chen Xiang nodded his head. The great landlord had clearly miscalculated, and he was also surprised that the Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family was actually so attractive, just developing in the sacred wasteland and giving the outside world to the 3 great native bank. This was clearly a premeditated plan. Chen Xiang, the fact that you have the heavenly alchemy is already known to Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family. It doesn't matter if this body is suitable for them to cultivate or not, because of this body's reputation, they must SNATCH it no matter what. You must guard against them. Great landlord said in a serious tone, it's a good thing that their strongest group of fellows are all unable to leave sacred wasteland. Chen Xiang secretly felt fear at the back of his mind. Before this, he had been wandering aimlessly within the sacred wasteland, and he had no idea that he would be in such danger at that time. To Chen Xiang, the sacred wasteland was not a safe place, but instead filled with danger. Amen, I understand. I will come to sacred wasteland less from now on. Chen Xiang nodded his head heavily. Of course, he would definitely come here in the future, and at that time, he would have enough power to flatten Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family. Just pay attention. With your capabilities, Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family cannot deal with you like this right now. If you need help, you can go find the third manor lord and the others. They will definitely help you," the great landlord said. It was not the first time that Chun Xiang had been targeted by someone extremely powerful because of the heavenly alchemy, so he had sufficient experience in dealing with this kind of thing. He did not chat with the great landlord for too long and returned to the Heavenly Dragon City. Not long after Chun Xiang arrived at Heavenly Dragon City, Huang Yantian came to find him urgently, and on top of that it was a very important matter. "Chun Xiang, your storage magic treasure is not equipped with any people, right?" Huang Yantian asked in a low voice. "Yes, why?" Chun Xiang answered truthfully. Chu Hongqing and Yang Xiangyin were both inside. "Hurry up and let the person inside out. The matter that I told you is a very secret that cannot be revealed to others." Huang Yantian's tone was somewhat heavy and extremely mysterious. "Can't you use sound transmission?" Chun Xiang asked. "No, don't waste any more words, this is a serious matter," Huang Yantian urged. Chun Xiang had no choice but to let Chu Hongqing and Yang Xiangyin go to the 100 Flowers Tower to wait for him, while he followed Huang Yantian there. Huang Yantian brought Chun Xiang to his residence, and went deeper into the secret room. He even added a few array formations. "Uncle, what is going on? Why are you acting so secretive?" Chun Xiang was getting impatient. "Something has happened to my little brother." Huang Yantian sighed. "I never thought that those fellows would actually be so brazen as to capture him." Huang Jintian was actually taken away, and at this moment, Chun Xiang knew that the matter was extremely serious, and his expression became gloomy and cold. "Who took Master away? What exactly is going on?" Chun Xiang asked anxiously. "It was done by the undead divine race, and that whatever evil spirit race. That fellow went out and was captured not long after he left the three-money divine city." Huang Yantian sighed. "Are you sure this is real? Are you not joking with me?" Chun Xiang could not believe that Huang Jintian was actually caught. "It's absolutely true. The undead divine race used our clan's secret method to send a sound transmission to me. And I also used that secret technique to contact my bro. I confirmed that he was taken away, although he said that we should not bother about him. Can we ignore him?" Although Huang Yantian and his whole body was quarreling, the relations Hi+P between the two brothers were extremely good. "Of course we can't ignore him. He is my master." Chun Xiang clenched his fist. "What exactly do those BASTARDS want?" "They used their clan's secret method to send a sound transmission to me, telling me to pass this matter to you and then ask you to go. Only then would I be able to save my brother." "Chun Xiang, if that doesn't work, then just let my brother die," Huang Yantian said. "You've already told me, can I not go?" Chun Xiang frowned. "Even though I know this is a trap set for me, I must definitely go. Senior Master, can I call someone to go? I know quite a few powerful people." Huang Yantian shook his head. "They told me that if you brought people there, they would kill your master. They have the undead divine race's sky spill master over there, so they can calculate that you better not tell anyone else, and only you can save your master now." Maybe Huang Yantian didn't really understand the strength of undead divine race and evil spirit race, so he thought that Chun Xiang could save Huang Jintian, and he knew that Chun Xiang had a lot of methods. However, Huang Yantian did not know the true terrifying thing about undead divine race and evil spirit race. It was that they were a group of guys that even natural law divine spirit could not handle. "Is there a time limit?" Chun Xiang calmed down and asked. "They said that within a month you will be the only one to go, and they can't tell anyone else." Huang Yantian sighed. "In about a month's time, Black Hair's human will also come out of Devil Wasteland." "A month. Looks like I have to make the best use of my time to cultivate. How much can I improve?" At this time, Chun Xiang had no choice but to take the risk. After all, Huang Jintian was his master. Where is it? Huang Yantian took out a map. He had drawn this map before and pointed to a place. It was actually the new 8 Wastelands, but it was more remote and far away from the heavenly dragon city. The matters of the black hare's human had originally been very busy for Chen Xiang, but now that he had been caught red-handed, it made him feel extremely helpless. He planned to make preparations for this month and then rescue Huang Jintian. He wasn't going to send himself to his death. He already had a plan just now. C-2572. C-2572. When Chen Xiang arrived at 100 Flowers Tower, Chu Hongqing and Yang Xiangyin was helping Yen Xilan with the shop, especially Yen Xilan, who was playing a zither and attracting many people over. On the other hand, Chu Hongqing was concocting pills. Chen Xiang told Yang Xiangyin and to stay here for the time being, or to go inside the Hundreds of Flowers village, while he himself went to Beast Wasteland to look for Du Shaoling. He asked Du Shaoling for a lot of drunken sky pills and 2 other extremely terrifying and mysterious poisons. At that time, these poisons might be able to help him. The ingredients for the 9 Yang Dai Profound fruit should be enough for them to refine. I must focus on my cultivation during this period of time. While Chen Xiang was on his way to the Hundreds of Flowers village, he had already thought of a few reasons. For the sake of Huang Jintian's safety, he didn't dare to tell this matter to others, and Huang Yantian didn't go around spouting nonsense. He returned to the Hundreds of Flowers village and told LV Qilian that he wanted to make a trip to the Profound Wasteland to find Huolin. Chen Xiang did indeed plan to go to the Profound Wasteland to find Huolin now. He planned to cultivate there for a period of time. After leaving the Hundreds of Flowers village, Chen Xiang went to the city in Profound Wasteland. He greeted Tai Xiong and the others, chatted for a while, then headed to the center of the earth. Huolin had a secret realm in the core of the earth, which was also a place with a lot of energy, which was why he chose to cultivate here. Big brother, how is the situation up there? Because Tai Yuntian had come down often and told Huolin about the black hare's humaness above, Huolin was very curious about the matters above. The black hare's human in the Devil Wasteland is about to come out, so I need to hurry and cultivate. Chen Xiang said, I'm here to see if I can borrow your energy to circulate the time formation. Chen Xiang's 6 realms mirrors also had the time formation, but in this vast world of the new 8 wastelands, he did not know just how useful the time formation could be. Yes, but Big brother, this SPAC is different from the 9 heaven worlds from before, and the laws of time are even stricter here, so I do not know how great the effect is, and I am a little worried that it will disturb the core of this place. Huolin said, Big brother, you should try first. If there are any problems, I can remind you later. Chen Xiang had also thought about this matter before he came here. He nodded, then entered an underground secret room which was filled with dense energy, and took out the 6 realms mirrors. In the past, when we were in the 9 heaven world, the effect of changing the flow of time was very good. Chen Xiang thought. But now, he had no other choice. A month of time was not enough for him, so he could not become much stronger. Of course, he did not expect himself to be able to fight against the undead divine race and the evil spirit race after leveling up here, but if he could get stronger now, that would be one thing. Activating the time formation above the 6 realms mirrors, Chen Xiang walked in, stayed inside for a day, and then exited. After calculating, the amount of time he could earn was 1 year. Huolin, how's the consumption? Chen Xiang asked. It can only last for 1 month at the most. Otherwise, the core will be in chaos. At that time, the energy will be unstable and my secret realm will collapse. Huolin said in a serious tone, Big brother, you have to come out on time. Don't worry, I'll definitely get out on time. Chen Xiang nodded and then entered the time formation. Because he was in too much of a hurry, he did not bring any medicinal ingredients with him. Originally, he had planned to look for pills that could help him quickly level up in the Tao Profound realm, but it was already too late. First, he had to go to the sacred wasteland to find them. Right now, Chen Xiang could only rely on refining pellet. First, he would refine a batch of Hi plus Padan, and that would be using the 4-S to refine the ultra-high quality Hi plus Padan. He had already reached the 10th level of the Tao Soul Realm, and after eating this Hi plus Padan, he broke through to the Tao Profound Realm. So the Tao Profound Realm was used to increase the use of Tao power. After Chen Xiang had leveled up to the Tao Profound Realm, the Tao energy within the Divine Sense C had actually risen by more than 10 times through the Tao Profound Door. This caused him to be able to casually release a bit of Tao energy, which was extremely powerful. No wonder the elder sister Xiao Ling said that the profound Tao power would be even scarier when we reach the Tao Profound Realm. Chen Xiang looked at the condensed spirit qi in his palm. This was the power that he had condensed after circulating a large amount of spirit qi through the Tao Profound Door. He tried to use the Zhiyang Tao power, and as expected, it was extremely powerful, more than 10 times stronger than when he was at the 10th stage of the Tao Pa realm. The power of the Tao Profound Realm is already this terrifying. What about the Tao Hi plus realm and the Tao Zong realm behind it? Chen Xiang was also looking forward to it now, but he didn't have a method to improve quickly, so continuing to eat Hi plus Padan was already useless. However, Chen Xiang still understood the way to cultivate the Tao Profound Realm. For every stage there was a Tao Profound Door, and if it was the second stage of the Tao Profound Realm, then it would be the second stage. If there was a 10th stage, then the power of the tenfold door would be able to pass the 10th stage of the Tao Profound Door, which was extremely terrifying. I wonder what will happen if my second divine sense sees heavenly beast comes out through the Tao Profound Door? Chen Xiang's heart skipped a beat. If it was possible, wouldn't it be extremely powerful? Of course, he did not dare try, because the heavenly beast of the second divine sense C also increased with his power. He was worried that the heavenly beast would become too strong, and when the time came, they would run out and break out of his control. He closed his eyes and looked at the huge halo of light above the divine sense C. It was the Tao Profound Door, and when he needed to use it, the Tao Profound Door would quickly collect the Tao energy from the divine sense C below, suck it in like a dragon sucking water, and then circulate it to his entire body. Why is it that I can only absorb so little Tao power? Chen Xiang closed his eyes and observed the Tao Profound Door inside his divine sense C. Not long after, he realized that it wasn't that the amount of Tao energy his Tao Profound Door absorbed was too little, but every time, the hole his Tao Profound Door opened was too small. He couldn't open it completely, so the amount of Tao energy that he absorbed was too little. How can this be? Chen Xiang discovered this problem and opened his eyes. He did not know what happened to the others, but he would definitely not allow something like this to happen. For example, his Tao Profound Door was as big as a water jar. However, right now, he could only open one bowl like this, so he did not have much Tao power to pass through the Tao Profound Door. The Tao Profound Door was so big, but it could only open such a small opening. This was clearly for a reason, and Chen Xiang believed that it could be completely opened. Chen Xiang could not understand this question, and could only helplessly walk out of the time formation. He wanted to ask Hualin, but coincidentally, he met Tai Yuntian coming down. Tai Yuntian was a Tao Lord, so he definitely knew about it. Chen Xiang planned to ask him for some advice. C-2573. C-2573 Tai Yuntian also knew that Chen Xiang was here. He had previously came down via his City Lord's mansion. City Lord Tai, I just stepped into the Tao Profound Realm. There is a question I don't understand. Chen Xiang said. Tai Yuntian was busy working on the array disk, because he noticed that the spirit qi in the city had decreased a little. He came down to take a look. He did not know that it was because Chen Xiang had used the time formation, so Huolin did not tell him. Is the Tao profound door unable to open it? Tai Yuntian chuckled. Many kids who have just stepped into the Tao profound realm will be troubled by this problem. Yes. Chen Xiang hurriedly nodded. He did not expect the others to do the same. This is a normal thing. Using numbers, when the Tao profound door was completely opened, it was equivalent to 100, but many of the times that I stepped into the Tao profound realm, it was only about the size of a small hole. If it was a bit more powerful, there would be 5 of these. Tai Yuntian laughed. Of course, if it's a earthly beast. Go and ask your brother. Huolin stood at the side and said with curled lips, I can open 50. This is the advantage of us beast innates. Chen Xiang was shocked. He felt that he was only 10 years old now, but Huolin was 10 times bigger than him. Then how can I make it bigger? Chen Xiang asked. Am I this young in this life? It can be said that it's true that it's not true. Some people only have how big they are when they step into the Tao profound realm, so when it comes to the Tao profound realm, it's not like there are none who can defeat those who are at the 5th or 6th stage of the profound realm. The main reason is that the difference in strength between Tao profound door S is just too great. Tai Yuntian said. Chen Xiang was around 10 years old, and the Tao profound door was around 100, but the power that Chen Xiang felt was extremely strong. If he could open it to 100, wouldn't that be even stronger? Tai Yuntian continued. Generally speaking, the opening of Tao profound door is related to the body, for example, beasts like your brother, because of the strong body, the opening of the body is very big. During the Tao profound realm, it is very difficult for humans to deal with beasts. Chen Xiang now understood why Du Shaoling said that the beasts in the beast wasteland were strong. If it was the Tao profound realm, the beasts were stronger than humans. Is it just flesh? If you increase your physical body later on, you'll be able to open it even more, right? Chen Xiang asked. That's right. Actually, this is also self-protection. If your physical body was weak, but had a wide opening, do you think your body would be able to withstand such a powerful strength? Tai Yuntian said. Many people will be unable to increase their Tao profound door's growth in their entire lives, mainly because their physical bodies have yet to reach the stage of cultivation. The bigger the Tao profound door, the more Tao energy he could absorb in one try. It has to be said that the Tao profound door could increase the amount of Tao energy he absorbed by more than 10 times, so if his body could not take it, and the Tao profound door opened up much more, his body would definitely explode. City Lord Tai, then how can you cultivate the Tao profound realm so quickly? Do you have any skills? Chen Xiang asked again. The technique. The Tao profound realm is mainly meant to open the gate. To open the tenfold door is already considered to be the great perfection stage. Since you have already opened the first door, then how do you plan on opening the second door? Generally speaking, the first layer of doors are bestowed by the heavens, and the second layer of doors are created by themselves, and then opened again. Tai Yuntian said. Door building? Chen Xiang did not understand. Tai Yuntian shook his head. Young man, I cannot rush this. It is not easy to create a sect. The most basic of it is to be stable, especially the few most basic gates. If they are unstable, the powerful force produced by the continuous absorption of Tao energy from the tenfold door can destroy the entire Tao profound door. This kind of thing happens every now and then. Chen Xiang was in a rush to obtain power, so he wanted to reach tenfold door in a year. Only then would he have more power when he went to save Huang Jintian. The main way to build your sect is through your own Tao energy and the power of law. You can use that to create it, and then use the power of law that you have absorbed to create it. And Black Hair's human is afraid of profound Tao power. If you can use enough profound Tao power to build your own sect, at that time it would be like needing ants in Black Hair's human. Tai Yuntian laughed. Right now I am modifying the Tao Profound Door and using it as the means to condense the profound Tao power. Was pleasantly surprised by this. As long as he could concoct a pill that could help him quickly obtain Tao energy, he would be able to cultivate the Tao Profound Door quickly and steadily. He also had a way to completely open the Tao Profound Door, which was to cultivate the body. He had a lot of medicinal ingredients that could strengthen the body. Immediately, there were Emperor Blood Ginseng and the Tao Dragon Emperor Gra. These were all Emperor stage medicinal ingredients to strengthen the body. I want to completely open all the Tao Profound Doors, and every single one of them too. Chen Xiang was determined to accomplish this within a year, and the reason why he was so confident was because he was an alchemist. Previously, the Emperor Blood Ginseng and the Gra.S. had already started growing together with the Jiuyang earthly fruit. Right now, I will first cultivate my physical body to the point where I can fully open the Tao Profound Door. After that, I will refine the 9 Yang Dai Profound Fruit and use the power of Law and Jiuyang Tao power to cultivate to the second stage of Tao Profound Door. Chen Xiang already had a plan. If he were to use his own Tao energy to cultivate it, it would take a very long time. However, if he were to use the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core together, he would definitely be able to use it very quickly. If he couldn't, he would have to use the crash method to refine the high-quality Emperor Profound pills. This was all for saving Huang Jintian a year later, and when that time came, the enemies he would face would be extremely strong. Elder sister Xiao Ling said that if you refine the Emperor Blood Ginseng along with the Tao Dragon Earth Gra.S, you will be able to refine a Tao G.O.D Emperor Yuan Dan. He also said that the Tao G.O.D gold body should be used to cultivate a Tao G.O.D gold body because the body is very strong and the Tao sovereign needs to cultivate in order to become a Tao G.O.D. Chen Xiang looked at the huge Emperor Blood Ginseng and the ox-like Gra.S. Forget it, let's just refine it first. In any case, we won't die from eating it. Right now, it was impossible for Chen Xiang to run back and ask Du Xiaoling. His instincts told him that these 2 herbs could be used to strengthen his body. The Tao Profound Door could only open it a little, which was a very painful thing for Chen Xiang, so he had to open it completely. Even if he could open 50% of it like the heavenly beast, he was still unwilling. I can even deal with the 4 crash, and the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core is also very easy to deal with, so this Tao God Emperor Yuan Dan shouldn't be too difficult. Chen Xiang was planning to become even more crazy now. No matter what pill he refined, he would need to use the crash method, because there were not many herbs available to him right now. If Dijia Dan can execute 1 or 2 stages, their quality will increase by a lot, and if Dijia Dan can fight it off, the explosive power will definitely be greater. Chen Xiang was not considering whether he could refine Tao God Emperor Yuan Dan, but whether he could successfully complete the charge. I can only give it a try. Chen Xiang took out Jutian Dan Ding S and Chuang's Hi plus G Rho D furnace S. First, use the Chuang's Hi plus G O D furnace to refine it. After refining it, use the spatial energy to transfer the Jutian Dan Ding to the sublimation refining method. Chen Xiang looked at these 2 things and felt a little helpless in his heart. He really hoped that the 2 things could be fused together, and he wouldn't have to go through so much trouble. Just as he had that thought, the surface of the Chuang's Hi plus G O D furnace suddenly rippled like a wave, and the Jutian Dan Ding beside was suddenly sucked in, merging with the Chuang's Hi plus G O D furnace. Motherf asterisk Ker, it really fused. Chen Xiang was given a fright, but was wild with joy. Haha, as expected of a Chuang's Hi plus G O D furnace swallowed the Jutian Dan Ding. C 2574. c. 2574. Although Chen Xiang was happy, he quickly started to worry. He was worried that the Chuang's Hi plus Go D furnace wouldn't have any effect after it swallowed the Jutian Dan Ding. He immediately used the Chuang's Hi plus Go D furnace to concoct a batch of low-level pellet. Only after he discovered that the quality had increased by a lot did he heave a sigh of relief. After the Chuang's Hi plus Go D furnace swallowed the Jutian Danding, it kept the mystical effects of the Jutian Danding that could improve quality. With such a harvest at such a critical juncture, Chen Xiang's mood was much better, but one must know that he was extremely depressed before this. He'll definitely be able to refine a super high-quality Dao Go D Emperor Yuan Dan. Chen Xiang was very confident at the moment. On one hand, he had fused Chuang's Hi plus Go D furnace with them, and on the other hand, he had successfully refined 4 crash S many times before. The Emperor Blood Ginseng and the GRA.SS were put into the furnace. Chen Xiang started using all kinds of refining methods to refine it together, refining the water and fire, refining the original source refining the illusionary fire. These refining methods were all comprehended from the heavenly alchemy, and they were all similar to each other. Chen Xiang, on the other hand, was extremely familiar with these refining methods, and being able to master them thoroughly and change them during pill refining was even easier. The difficulty of refining the Emperor Blood Ginseng and the Dragon Emperor GRA.SS wasn't as difficult as refining the mysterious 9 Yang Emperor pellet. On the contrary, it was a bit easier. Therefore, Chen Xiang was also surprised when he was refining it. It was only his first time refining it, but he used a very short amount of time to refine the medicinal ingredients into a ball. Reaching this stage, he only took 6 hours, which was the equivalent of speed. He did not know if it was because of the fusion of the Chuang's Hi plus Go D furnace and the Chuang's Hi plus Go D furnace, but he felt that it would be more convenient to refine pills by then. It went very smoothly. Chen Xiang heaved a sigh of relief. He was just about to adjust his state, because he was going to undergo a very difficult stage. It was to divide that lump of medicine crystal into several BAL, L, S and then use the crash method to refine it. This was the first time he had used an emperor-level medicinal herb in a collision, and it was also after fusing them together. This was equivalent to a middle-level emperor-level medicinal plant. Bang bang! Chen Xiang shouted in his heart as he controlled the 8 medicine crystal S to charge towards a single point from all directions. The Chuang's Hi plus Go D furnace trembled, and the voice from inside shook the sky even more. Fortunately, Chen Xiang had controlled it well, and the violent fluctuation was blocked by his spatial energy, causing it to become weaker and weaker. 1 crash succeeded. Chen Xiang let out a long sigh. After going through a crash, he had a rough idea of how strong the explosion of his strength during his charge against medicinal herbs of this level was. This mid-grade Emperor stage medicinal herb is the equivalent of the 4 crash S that I refined the Hi plus Dan previously, and it might even be a little stronger. Chen Xiang took a deep breath. If I were to refine this Dao Go D Emperor Yuan Dan into 2nd crash, then it would be at least equivalent to 10 crash of the Hi plus Dan. Can I do it? Chen Xiang was hesitating on whether or not he should give it a try. If he succeeded, the quality of the Dao Go D Emperor Yuan Dan here could be imagined. If he succeeded, it would also mean that when he was refining Hi plus Dan or other high-grade king-level pellets, he would also be able to undergo the 10 cras. H. Plus, however, he didn't know if he could do it. After all, if an accident were to occur during the collision, then it might injure him. Moreover, it was something that no one had ever done before, so he didn't refer to it. Forget it, I have to be confident in myself. I will definitely do it. I am a peerless pill God. Chen Xiang took a few deep breaths. Even if it fails, the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace can withstand it. This is something that Serpa SES, the heavenly artifact. Chen Xiang closed his eyes, breathed in rhythmically, adjusted his condition, and then merged all of the medicine crystal that had said through the first crash into one. After the fusion with the crash, the quality of the medicine crystal would be very high. They have not even formed a core yet, but they have a Dan soul. Chen Xiang divided it into 8 groups, and in this period of time, he had used up a lot of his energy. He had spent 3 whole days before separating. Of course, it was normal for the Dijia Dan to take a longer time than normal. Most alchemists would take around 10 to 8 years to refine their Dijia Dan, and at the fastest it would take a year and a half. Get ready. Chen Xiang took out the heavenly magic sword, and did not begin the second crash. He made the heavenly magic sword transform into a huge turtle shell, which was the shape of the black tortoise armor. Then, he made the black tortoise armor transform into a huge bucket and put the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace in the bucket. Begin. Chen Xiang made his preparations and immediately began the second crash. Boom! The black tortoise armor trembled violently, and the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace was scattered in all directions by the shock, overflowing with a burst of extremely berserk flames. And the moment Chen Xiang collided with it, the divine sense felt as if it was about to shatter into pieces. I have to persevere. Chen Xiang fiercely bit the tip of his tongue to keep himself awake. At this moment, he had also recovered, but very slowly. After more than 2 hours, the scene before Chen Xiang's eyes slowly became clear. It's finally done. Chen Xiang looked at the black tortoise armor that had turned into a vat, then looked at Chuang's Hi plus God furnace, but they did not have any traces of damage, which made him feel more at ease, and he was worried that it would break. It was at this time that he paid attention to the interior of the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace. What he found inconceivable was that the medicine crystal had actually turned into a kind of white-yellow gas. What's going on? Chen Xiang was extremely shocked. Logically speaking, this should be a crystal. Even if it was inferior, it should be a liquid. Chen Xiang suddenly remembered something. The heavenly alchemy had introduced this to him before. Once it reached a certain point, the ingredients could be refined into a very unique form. It's not a gas, it's spiritual body. Chen Xiang remembered the introduction inside the heavenly alchemy. He did not know what was going on, but it was definitely stronger than the crystal form from before. After all, it had been refined using the second crash. Come out and try it out. Just as Chen Xiang was about to condense the pellet, he realized that he was a little weak and had no choice but to rest for 4 hours to recover. After resting, Chen Xiang had recovered a lot and already had enough strength to condense the pill. He was looking forward to what kind of pill he would condense. He has already turned into a spirit body. Don't tell me that he can really refine the pill into a human from now on. When Chen Xiang thought about this, he could not help but start fantasizing. He felt that this was very possible. He had originally thought that condensing a pill would be extremely difficult, but he did not expect it to be so easy. This caused him to be very surprised. Could it be that the pill-forming process will make it easier? Chen Xiang thought. He did not know if other alchemists could do this, but he had never heard of it before. C2575. C2575. The process of condensing the pellet was very easy and quick. It was completed in just an hour. This was outside of Chen Xiang's expectations, and the time he used to refine the 9-yang Emperor profound core wasn't even an hour's worth of condensing pellets. Could it be that it's easy to condense a pill after reaching the peak of pill refining, Or is it because of the medicinal strength that transforms into spirit? Chun Xiang asked himself, but there was no answer, because there were not many people that could reach this realm, and he was one of them. He felt that if he wanted to gain a deeper understanding of the medicinal effects of this state, he would have to go to the divine wasteland to know. There would definitely be an even stronger alchemist there. The condensing of the pill was completed. It was a gold-red pill, and it looked very ordinary. There was no very bright glow, nor was there a very rich medicinal aroma. It was very simple and unadorned. Could it be that this is returning to its original nature? It seems like this pellet has already reached a certain level. This pellet was personally refined by Chun Xiang himself, and although the process wasn't long, it was extremely difficult, and he had almost been injured. During the second crash, it placed a huge burden on his divine sense, and if he wasn't able to withstand the power at that time, his divine sense would have received heavy injuries. The Dao Geo D Emperor Yuan Dan mainly cultivated the Dao Geo D gold body, which Chun Xiang had not eaten before, but this Dao Geo D Emperor Yuan Dan was actually very special. Chun Xiang thought that it should be at the upper level of the Emperor stage, and the quality would definitely be a lot higher than those high-level Emperor stage pellet. Let's eat it and see. Hopefully, no more life-threatening incidents will occur. Chun Xiang obviously knew how terrifying the medicinal power of this pellet was. Earlier, when he ate the SHI plus Padan of the 4 Crash S, he was pushed to his limits, let alone someone of this level. However, after Chun Xiang consumed the pellet, he also felt very surprised. This was not what he expected happened with an extremely berserk situation. But now it was extremely gentle. The medicinal strength flowed in his body in a rhythmic manner, using a suitable speed and the amount of energy to nourish his muscles, bones and muscles, and strengthening his body. Even though Chun Xiang had consumed the pellet, the medicinal power did not burst out abruptly. Instead, it orderly exuded many medicinal powers from within his dantian and automatically circulated within his body's limbs and bones. Furthermore, it did not need Chun Xiang to intentionally refine it, as it could penetrate into Chun Xiang's body to the limit. Awesome! Chun Xiang could not help but exclaim, "Is this the spirit-transforming pill? What's that called? I think the Spirit God pill is stronger than the Dijia Dan." Chun Xiang thought for a while, then gave a name for this pill. In the future, I will have to try other low-leveled herbs, and see if I can make a spirit soul out of this. Chun Xiang realized that the speed at which the Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan refined itself into his body was much faster than when he channeled his energy to refine it. Furthermore, during the refining process, he could do other things as well. If they were together, he would only be able to use the fastest speed to focus on refining it, but right now, he didn't need it. If I were to use the 3 Crash, the medicinal power would definitely be stronger, but my current strength is still not enough. Chun Xiang sighed helplessly. At this point in time, he knew that there was no limit to the quality of medicinal pellets he could raise while he was refining pills. He could constantly make breakthroughs, especially when he was using the Crash method. What exactly is the Dao God gold body? I wonder if I can cultivate it now. Chun Xiang now took out the medicinal ingredients for the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core. Although the Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan could refine it on its own at a very fast speed, it still required a very long time. After all, that level of pellet contained a lot of medicinal power. But right now, time was very important to Chun Xiang. He had to hurry up and refine pills. I wonder if this Emperor Profound Core can become a divine spiritual pill after cultivating the 2nd Crash? Chun Xiang did indeed have plans to refine the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core into the 2nd Crash. In order to condense the Tao Profound Door, he needed more and more Dao energy. He did not have enough Dao energy at the moment, but he could make up for it with other types of Dao energy, such as the Dao energy provided by pills. The Emperor Profound Core could provide a lot of Juyang Dao power, which was a type of power that had a lot of destructive power to Black Hair's human. Furthermore, after going through the Tao Profound Door, the increase in power would be even greater than normal Dao power. He felt that he could use the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core to quickly create a Tao Profound Door and cultivate to 10-fold door within a year. In addition, he also needed to crazily strengthen his physical body, so that he could completely open every single Tao Profound Door. Only by doing this would he be able to obtain sufficient strength. Right now his Tao Profound Door could only reach 10, but his power was already very strong. If he could reach 100, then his power would increase by at least 10 times. If it was the same first stage of Tao Profound Realm, other people's Tao Profound Door would only have opened up 5 points, but he had another 100. He could squash his opponent with one finger, and that was the difference. At this time, Chen Xiang could also clearly feel his body being strengthened under the Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan's medicinal power. To be able to make him feel his own body being strengthened faster, it could be seen how powerful the effects of this pellet were. With his previous 2 stages of refining Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan, Chen Xiang would definitely not have it as tough as last time when he was refining the Emperor Profound Core. His endurance had been ACCU. Mulat bit by bit. If he had refined a few more batches, then the situation wouldn't have happened in the future. The 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core was already a complete crash, so the process of colliding with it was nothing to Chen Xiang, but it was obvious that it had improved by a lot. Second stage, this is the most difficult stage. As long as you can cross it, hee. Chen Xiang's heart was filled with antic. 1. Asian, his mood was not as heavy as before because at this moment, he had already eaten the sweetness of the spirit G.O.D. pellet that the second crash had refined. Bang bang! Chen Xiang controlled the 8 medicine crystals to fiercely clash against each other. The moment they collided, the sound was still extremely loud. Chen Xiang was also shaken by the impact of the collision. Then, his head felt like it was about to split open as he let out an angry roar. He was awake from the beginning to the end, and he saw the process of the collision. When it collided with the medicine crystal, the medicinal force produced a very quick change. When the medicine crystal shattered, under the strong pressure, the inner strength of the medicine crystal rose greatly, turning into a spirit body. Therefore, the medicine spirit body that Chen Xiang saw was the same as the Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan's. They were all yellow-white. Success, core formation. Chen Xiang was overjoyed. He knew that after reaching this step, he would almost succeed. An hour had passed, and the Emperor Profound pellet refined from the second crash had been successfully refined. From start to finish, it had taken him 2 days and 2 nights, but it wasn't too long. While he was refining the pill, his body had unknowingly changed. He did not notice it previously, but now, he suddenly realized it. C 2576. C 2576. After Chen Xiang finished concocting this pill, he went to inspect his body and discovered that there were traces of faint golden-colored fog within his muscles, bones and muscles. He did not know what it was. My strength is too great. Chen Xiang took out an extremely dy or pinched it and immediately crushed it. I have to go out and ask City Lord Tai. At this time, Chen Xiang had already refined that Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan, which was why his body had undergone such a huge change. He felt that if he spat out blood, his blood would definitely contain that kind of golden mist. Walking out of the time formation, Chen Xiang saw Tai Yuntian. Tai Yuntian was also training below, because the Dao Qi was extremely dense, and he was not training himself, but refining a few weapons. He had infused a dense profound Tao power into these weapons. When dealing with the Black Hair's human, their destructive power would increase even more. City Lord Tai, have you heard of the Dao D gold body? Chen Xiang asked. I've heard of it. Why are you asking this? This realm is still far from yours. Even I would only think about it occasionally. Tai Yuntian said. I'm just curious. Can you tell me more? Chen Xiang asked. He had only heard Du Shaoling say before that it was to become a Dao Ji O D that one needed to cultivate. Literally speaking, it's a body of a Dao Ji O D, that's why it's called the Dao Ji O D gold body. This is what is needed to become a Dao Ji O D. Tai Yuntian said. Currently, I am only at the 6th stage and have yet to reach the 10th stage, so I do not need to cultivate Dao Ji O D gold body. City Lord Tai, what happens to the Dao Ji O D gold body generally? How powerful is it? Is it different from our normal bodies? Chen Xiang asked again, because he still did not know what the golden mist within his muscles and bones was. I only heard about it. Tai Yuntian thought for a while, then said, It is said that after cultivating the Dao Ji O D gold body, the bones and muscles will all be golden, of course the skin will not change. And this kind of golden energy is called the limitless Dao energy. This kind of limitless Dao energy is as heavy as 10,000 kilograms, yet the Dao Ji O D gold body contains countless threads, so your strength can be imagined. Chen Xiang was secretly surprised. He did not know if the golden mist in his body was the boundless Dao energy. He planned to go back and try it out later. So that's how it is. It seems that after becoming a Dao Ji O D, one's power will become extremely terrifying. With just a sliver of boundless Dao energy, one will be able to gain such terrifying power. Chen Xiang said. Yes. Legend has it that the great battle of the Dao Ji O DS, when one's finger lands on a world, can shatter that world. Tai Yuntian laughed. After Chen Xiang cleared up his doubts, he returned to the time formation and took out an iron plate. After that, he released a strand of golden-colored mist from his body. What surprised him was that, after the mist left his body, he actually controlled it as he pleased. When he controlled the mist to descend onto the metal plate, he saw that the surface of the metal plate suddenly had a dent. Seeing the dent, Chen Xiang's heart trembled. He was overjoyed. He was able to cultivate the everlasting Dao Qi, but he guessed that the temperature of the everlasting Dao Qi was not high enough, because his body was not Dao Ji O D gold body. Chen Xiang then tried to open up the Tao profound door, and discovered that he could open it much larger. He had been at the top 10 previously, but he was still at the bottom 50 now. I want to open 100. Chen Xiang had originally planned to eat the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core, but seeing that the Tao Profound Door was not fully opened, he continued to cultivate his body. After going through a series of practices, Chen Xiang was certain that the Dao Ji O D Emperor Yuan Dan could strengthen his body and could also increase it a lot faster, so he still had to refine more Dao Ji O D Emperor Yuan Dan. After 2 days, he refined another pellet. After eating it, he rested for a while, recovered his spirit, and continued refining Dao Ji O D Emperor Yuan Dan. Now that he could refine 1 pill every 2 days, the speed of this pill could be described as fast as lightning. After another 2 days, the Dao Ji O D Emperor Yuan Dan, he refined for the second crash to come out of the spirit God realm. The one he had eaten previously had already been refined by himself. What? It can only open 5. Was extremely shocked. Previously, when he ate a Dao Ji O D Emperor Yuan Dan, he would only open his mouth from 10 to 50, but now it was only from 10 to 55. Looks like after 50, it'll be extremely difficult, Chen Xiang guessed. Could it be that I have to cultivate the Dao Ji O D gold body before I can completely open the Tao profound door? Oh right, maybe after I can completely open it now, I can open it in the future as well. Chen Xiang did not eat the Dao Ji O D Emperor Yuan Dan. he had just refined, but instead ate the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core, as he wanted to cultivate the second stage of the sect. Only by cultivating the second Tao Profound Door would he be able to see if the second sect was the same. After consuming the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core that had a spirit God, the medicinal power automatically refined, and at the same time Chen Xiang continued to refine the pellet. He was still refining the Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan this time, because he still needed to continuously strengthen his fleshly body to open the Tao Profound Door. This 9 Yang Emperor Profound Core with a spirit God was a bit more special, and it had been refined for a relatively long time. After Chen Xiang spent 2 days to refine one Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan, he had not finished refining it. Can a single grain form the Tao Profound Door? At this time, Chen Xiang did not refine any pellets, but decided to make a move inside the Divine Sense Sea. Currently, there were 2 enormous circles of light superimposed on his Divine Sense Sea. These were the 2 great Tao Profound Doors. He had controlled the 2 great Tao Profound Doors to open it, and discovered that the first layer could open 55 of them, while the second one could only open 45. The opening to the second stage was not 55, which was different from Chen Xiang's previous predictions. From the looks of it, I can only cultivate to 10-fold door first, then my body. I have to open up every stage of Tao Profound Door. Chen Xiang clenched his fists tightly, and then concentrated on refining the Emperor Profound Core. Eating the 9 Yang Emperor Profound Pills refined from the second crash meant that the speed at which one cultivated the Tao Profound Door was relatively fast. However, it was extremely difficult to open the Tao Profound Door completely, as that required unceasingly strengthening of the body. Chen Xiang had that kind of special Dao the Emperor Yuan Dan, but to completely open the Tao Profound Door was already very difficult, let alone others. It was no wonder that many people would not waste time on it, because for many people, it was an extremely difficult task. But Chen Xiang did not think so, because he had already leveled up from 10 points to 55 points. 1 year's time should be enough. Chen Xiang felt that he had plenty of time. He just did not know how strong his body would become if he were to fully open the 10th Tao Profound Door. If he could really do it, he felt that he would have the chance to win even if he faced a person at the 10th stage of the Dao S. H.I. plus realm.